There we go. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Chapter 2 of the Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Thank you, Carl, for the 100 biddies. I will permit you to do one sound on the soundboard. Hello, Midnight. Yes, Hamburger or something or another. Where last we left you guys off, you got to the Lone Isle. You had successfully, and he said selectively, you have successfully completed your Joesteed delivery with some minor complications on the way. Wade's dead. I haven't locked them, Carl. I ain't done shit to him. I just threatened to. But, as I have explained, Wade died. Pretty gruesomely to a very unassuming monster, a pile of bones. Wait, how? I turned those off. How are you doing the sounds?
Magic.
I thought you'd forgot to turn them off. So
No, I actually turned them off. What the fuck? Adam,
I haven't touched them.
did you turn them back on?
No, I did not.
I just got the power, I guess.
I'm not the only one who's got access to them.
You are. Me and you, that's it. I've turned them off again. It's fine.
Running quick.
You guys have struck a deal.
Before the dramatic.
Yeah. With Thalen Bonnemere, you guys had struck a deal. Some of you begrudgingly, some of you through desperation, some of you for various choices that you each to your own. Agreed to be indebted to Thalen for one favour that was undisclosed, as at the time he had no need of one right away. The only specifications was you wouldn't help him flee the island or murder anybody or hurt anybody, I think was specifically.
Yeah.
But obviously you are now indebted through the means of one favour to the ex-warlord of Burgundia from about a century ago. In that agreement, a raised dead ritual would be prepared so that at midnight, because Thalen decreed it so, you were going to attempt to revive Wade. You each, as the spell is an hour, this is more of a mechanical thing, as it's an hour, the spell, anybody who wishes to participate in the resurrection ritual through the means of having any say or offering an item to the ritual, because you're not, and it's not got anything to do with making the spell work or fail. This is entirely talking to Wade's essence, his soul, which, as far as you guys would have been made aware, Wade would be able to hear anything said. So this is your means of coaxing him to come back, because at the end of the day, the choice is entirely down to Wade on which he returns or not.
Matt.
But Father Donahue, which you have later found his name out after through Thalen, this is a between the session thing. I'm just giving you the name of the cleric now that he's going to perform the ritual, because you was never given or asked for. Father Donahue will be performing the ritual again at midnight. You guys have the better part of half a day to prepare yourselves, as it's about midday or so. I'm going to let you guys interject if there's anything anyone wishes to do or anyone wishes to pull anyone aside. You are all currently in your own rooms upstairs in Thalen's place of living. You are all each granted a room, and I believe the majority of you split off into your own rooms with the exceptions of a couple, but I will allow you to freely change that as you wish, like going in and out of each other's rooms. Is there anything anyone wishes to do while preparing for this ritual? While I eat a bite of my pizza. Please, guys, I want to eat a bite of pizza.
I do, actually, and it's obviously... I want to do an insight check into this warlord.
For what?
Was he bullshitting when he was having that conversation with the rest of the group?
What, when he was offering to...
The contracts and all that.
I can tell you the insight, he's psychotic.
Okay, so you're trying to see, like, as if he's actually going to let the ritual happen, or what?
Yeah, or has he got some trick up his sleeve?
Okay. Roll an insight.
Since I wasn't here for that bit.
No, it's fair, because obviously I've let Adam have autonomy. His
Yeah.
character was present, so when he watched the session back, he could act upon things. With a 13, as far as you can tell, it seems honourable enough, at least in arranging and agreeing to a deal.
Yeah.
He's going to call upon you guys for a favour at some point, and you guys are getting an attempt at getting Wade back.
What did Dax do in terms of the deal? Was he with Barnett and Josiah, or did he stay with Navarro and Vlad?
He would have stayed with Navarro and Vlad. He wouldn't have been like making any willing deals.
Okay.
Yeah, so this was him inciting more or less after it had already been arranged, and just trying to gauge whether he seems an honest enough man to follow through.
Yeah.
He'll follow through. He'll just try and rip us. I'm not taking part in that deal. So
It's already happened.
yeah, bro. I didn't agree to it. So that deal's out to me.
It's you guys as a collective.
Nope.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is.
It is.
As far as I was aware of the understanding, it was just those two.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what we
just
agreed last
Josiah.
week.
It wasn't the whole group.
Thank you. Wasn't enough to do with
What
us.
we said to Phelan, we just said it was us two, and Phelan
Yeah.
went yes.
Okay. It's alright. My assumption was it was just undertaken because you guys are a group.
No, they explicitly said they weren't part of the deal, and
Fair
then me
enough.
and Barnett
No, that's
went
fair
up
enough.
to Phelan. Yeah.
So is there anything else people wish to do? Preparations? Any rituals? Any conversations? Do you want to grab a guard? Do you want to maybe go back and talk to Wade's corpse? Okay. So as the day progresses, and again, interrupt me as needed. You guys all wait in your rooms, and the house is suspiciously quiet. You hear the occasional footsteps of guards. You don't necessarily hear Thalen, but you assume he's downstairs in some room of some kind, along with obviously Wade and Donahue, who's working on preparing Wade for potential resurrection. The sun starts setting over yonder. You can see the shadows of the rooms getting bigger and longer.
I would go to the beach and get some salt water and sand, in 2 jars.
If you have containers in which to do so, easy enough.
I'm sure I can borrow, just say I want 2 cups and then go, yeah.
Easy enough. You'll be able to get 2 tin cups or something like that, from a mess kit.
I'm sure there isn't a cup Nazi. I'm sure I can get 2 cups from this big house. Yeah.
Easy enough. Easy enough. No roll needed. Surprisingly. The light that was of the sun starts to be replaced with candlelight as the sun leaves the horizon, bringing forth the moon. And the light from the moon starts cascading in its very bright but limited effect. Candlelight lists both your rooms, all of your rooms, sorry, as guards would come in and offer to light them for you as they place them on desks. I'm just chewing. That was a chewy piece. Sconces in the hallways will be lit. The house is now well lit. And you see the guards passing by. Further hours go by. And then eventually, each of you will get a knock at the door. It's by a guard, and it's to explain that it is nearing the time of the ritual, and would you like to follow them all? You're all eventually gathered up by about 2 guards into the group, into the hallway.
I would turn around and say, I have no part in this, thank you.
Okay, that's fine. You may stay in your room. kind of looks at you a bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else that is refusing to help revive your friend?
Can I take a pillow with me, please?
Sure. It's not a Hello Kitty one, though.
Oh,
Just plain.
okay.
You will all get led back downstairs, back into the main chamber, and rather than into the same room where Wade was laid to rest, the small room that the cleric was working in, it's a slightly bigger chamber, and it's prepared. You can see Wade in the center of a room on a dais. I think that's the right word. And you can see Donahue stood over. I don't have a map for this, so please, theater of the mind. It is well-polished stone flooring, and it's lit abundantly, and you can see a number of components on a small table with wheels that's nearby to help prepare for the ritual, any components and things like that that are needed. And Donahue will look over you all and go, right, well, the ritual is ready, and anyone that wishes to participate in the ritual, you may. When I begin, it will last a number of time, about an hour or so, and you may speak with or offer things to your friend Wade, was it? I'm assuming correct. And
Yes.
his spirit will be able to hear you, and you may even see his presence, but he will not be able to communicate with you in any way. So bear that in mind, and if when the spell is complete, he will have the option to return or to not. And that is entirely upon him. I have no control. I cannot force anybody to come back if they are stalwart in leaving. I hope you all understand this as well, and understand that if your friend chooses not to come back, there's nothing I can do. So, anyone who wishes to participate, you may step forward, and I will begin the ritual in a moment. And as you guys are all like gathering round, and you can see Thalen has walked in behind you guys and has walked like around the side of the room, and he's stepped kind of near Donahue, but not. He's not like right up on it. He's kind of watching with more of a curious eye and just like overlooking everything and watching you guys, watching that. Looking, the guards are watching him and you guys and everything. Now, who is participating in the ritual? And
Me.
obvious,
I will.
there is no. I'm not really going to call like initiative, but does anyone have a preference in like an order? Like, I want to go first. You blah blah. You know what I mean?
I would prefer to go last.
Okay. This is an out of character thing. This is just you guys deciding amongst yourselves in character. Like, okay, I want to speak first. I want to speak last.
Yeah. Can I go first?
I think Rose wanted to do it. I don't know if she's just.
Oh, I'm still doing it. I just wanted to let everyone else talk.
So
I can go second to last then.
okay,
go.
so 1, 2, 3, unless anyone else wants
Dax?
to talk.
Are you participating in any way?
I might do, yeah.
Oh.
I'm thinking at the minute.
So, should we say you go third then? So it'd be Rose, Liam, Dax, and then Josiah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be third.
Oh, you
I
wanna
wanted
be-
to go
okay,
like, second to
you wanna
last.
be-
If that's
okay.
okay.
Okay, so it would be Barnett, Dax, Nivara, Josiah.
If that's cool.
Yes.
This is you guys deciding in character, because essentially Donahue's going to let you guys decide, because although you only have an hour, that sounds like a lot of time. And obviously you're not going to actually have to talk for an hour between a lot of you. It's going to be a bit highlights.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I would imagine time would fly, and like it's best to plan so people know. Which basically boils down to each of you have 15 minutes, kind of technically. So, as you all begin and start thinking of the words you're going to say, and once you were all signified that you're ready, Donahue will pick up some of the components and he will begin casting the Raise Dead spell. You will watch his hands glow with a slight yellowy hue as he waves his hands over Wade's body and explicitly says the correct string of archaic words to the god that he follows. And and then after the incantation, he will then explain, Wade, your friends here are requesting that you return. I am here to perform this ritual and give them the opportunity to speak with you and beckon you back. Hear their words, hear them well, and please make the choice that feels right to you. A few more semantic and movements, and you'll eventually notice that a small orb of light appears in the center of the room at the top, near the ceiling. Like a wisp almost, but not like flame, but more like a light spell, like a dancing orb almost. And we'll just start to just float around, just scraping the roof of the ceiling. And Wade, this is your conscious. As you, in your moment of afterlife, your peace, your harmony, your rest away from the weariness of life, you are brought back for but a moment and you see this room in front of you, you see your friends, you see yourself, you see this old man and this short halfling being surrounded by guards all watching over you. And you start to hear the words of Donahue as he's preparing the ritual, and you hear that sentence where you are being asked to come back. Your friends have got words for you, and you can see the four of them. You don't see Vlad, you see the others, all stood in a sort of vague line, ready to speak. Barnet, you may start.
Yep. I'm going to give him the pillow.
Okay. So you step up to the altar and you place the pillow near him, on him.
Can I touch him?
You may. He's currently just...
yeah.
There's no cloth over him or anything. His body in his armor and clothes. He's just laid, arms by the side, just... Oh.
I'll put it under his head.
Okay. Easy enough to do.
Relax, like a pillow.
Is that it?
That's me done, yeah.
Okay. Wade? You see Barnett approach you with a pillow and you kind of... What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And you see him kind of lift your head and just quietly place a pillow under your head and just take a few steps back and turn and walk away. And if that is all, Dax, I believe you are next.
Yeah, I would have requested like a small table or a stand near to Wade's body.
Within enough reason, yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, not like a big table.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
And then what I'll do is I'll get the tarot deck out and see if the reading has changed from the last time that I give him.
Say that again, sorry.
So basically I'd get the deck out and see if the cards changed.
Okay. Yeah. So, give me a second. I've just got to quickly open the list.
Yeah.
Okay, so you place the table near and you do the ritual where place the cards out and you kind of feel which ones have like a pull, like a sense of this is the right card. And the first card that you pick up is the broken one. Currently normal, as is, no orientation, no changes to the card, the broken one.
Yeah.
And following that, you get Donjon. And these both in very quick succession with a very strong power to them. Like these are... like when you get cards that are like, it's there. I can feel a tingle, but these are like a magnet to metal. Do you know what I mean? They're strong.
Yeah.
And you get them almost instantaneously, but bang, bang, straight after each other. But following that, you do get a third, and it takes a little bit, and you get the Executioner card, but it's inverted. It's the opposite orientation that you would expect. If you would like to make an Arcana roll, see if you can try and make sense, see how much explanation I can put to these cards, or how much do I leave it to Dax
Yeah,
and
it's
you.
worth a try.
Always worth a try.
What was the second card?
The
Oh,
first card was Broken
The
One.
broken one. Yeah.
The second card was Donjon. Donjon. I think it's pronounced Dungeon, but it's Donjon.
bit of it.
Okay.
And then the third one
Executioner.
is Executioner, but inverted. And all I'm going to leave you with, because it's a natural one, I'm just going to read the very description that is written on the cards that you sent me. This is not necessarily for you, because obviously you have it, but this is more for other people, just because I think it's nice out of character. So, the Broken One represents defeat, failure, and despair. The loss of something or someone important without which one feels incomplete. Donjon is isolation and imprisonment, being so conservative in thinking as to be a prisoner of one's own beliefs. And the third one, which was inverted, is imminent death of one rightly or wrongly convicted crime, false accusations, and unjust prosecution. And those are the three you get. As you never have in your readings ever had more than three. You've sometimes had less, but never more.
Yeah.
The first two were very strong and instantaneous, whereas that last one took a while, but it did come, and obviously inverted. That's all
Yeah.
you get.
Am I in control of the wisp?
Within reason, I would say you're probably tethered to your body to a point where you're
Yeah,
like
all
you're like
all
on
it
a
does
chain
is-
almost, like an invisible chain,
Yeah. All it does float down, kind of like a curious,
like trying to
as
look
if it's-
almost.
as if
Which-
it's looking at the card.
Yeah, and again, you see these cards, but unless Dax verbally says anything, I don't think you've ever encountered Taroka Dex to know anything.
Yeah.
And other people don't necessarily see them because they would have to pretty much be looking over your shoulder.
I think the only thing I'd say is you've got unfinished business, Wade. Don't let your death be nothing. Come back and finish what you need. I'll be behind you 100% of the way.
Okay.
And then I'll put the cards away.
One by one, you place the cards away and back into their pouch. You ask for the table to move, and a guard will like pick the table up and move it out of the way once you're no longer needing of it, and place it against the wall.
Mm.
And you'll take us a few steps back. Go and stand by Barnet. Naivara, I believe it was agreed upon you were to go next, and you had some words to say.
Yes. So Nivra will step forward to the dais where Wade lies. Lies? There we go, that's the right word. Bit of emotional. Here we go. And she'll say, as part of the ritual, I would like to give some knowledge, if that is okay. Kind of looking towards the cleric.
Who's currently concentrating on the spell still with the semantics, and you can see his lips moving with like a constant chant, and he'll kind of look at you and will give just like a nod of acknowledgement, but he obviously can't really say anything because it would disrupt the spell. But he kind of looks at you and gives a nod of, that's fine.
She'll look back down to Wade and begin saying, a couple of millennia ago, the wooded highlands were extremely dangerous. Small settlements had sprung up from the natural resources abundant in the area. Unfortunately, they were plagued by raiders who had built their massive wooded forts in the forest and took tithes from small villages. In the middle of a rainstorm, over 2,000 years ago, a man saved the people of a small village called Fenwal. He wore the colours of the raiders who demanded their tithe. He fought them despite looking like a madman, his skin gaunt, his features pale. His beast tore at the raiders that attacked, whilst he cut the leaders down where they stood. The people of Fenwal were astounded by this, but fear and awe soon gave way to thanks and celebration. Later, in their celebrations, the villagers asked him who he was. Was he really a raider? And what was the beast who lay nearby, gnawing at a bone? And so he began to tell his story. Talon had never known his parents, as his mother had passed on during childbirth, and his father was a secret she took to her grave. He was brought up with it by his aunt and uncle. They were farmers and tried to give them the very best upbringing that they could. He couldn't miss what he'd never known, right? But he understood from a young age that he was missing something. Nothing really filled that empty spot. Not that hatred or Zephyr those in the village felt towards the raiders, or the back-breaking work of working in the hills when he was old enough. Thanks to this work, Talon was a strong young man, able to lift heavy tools to till the ground or to carry large bales of wheat. He worked as hard as he could with his uncle, but they could never quite grow enough for the raider camps. None of the farms could. Each time they visited, they wanted more and more, their threats becoming more and more. Zenith wasn't a threat anymore. The raiders burned down his village and spared anyone who looked like they'd been useful. Talon hated that he'd been spared, and the sadness he'd experienced as a young man buried itself deep within him. Even as he learned to fight, or how to keep his weapon sharp, his soul was weighed down as he realized for the next fight he would not be defending his family or his home, but threatening somebody else's. He couldn't stand this and began to think his only escape from this fate was to quietly go. He walked for days into the heart of the forest, not really with any direction, as his plan had just been to walk until he dropped. Instead, he found a glade that he had never seen before. A soft floor of clover and moss blanketed the ground, sun-dappled by the last rays of the late afternoon sun. It was serene and beautiful, though it did little to raise his spirits back from the utter despair he felt. Talon stumbled into the center, falling to his knees and onto his side. He let the bone-deep exhaustion pull him down. At this point, Naivara will kind of summon her familiar, which will kind of jump up onto the dais. Something nudges Chin. Yeah, her little fox, which will do the same as she's talking through the next parts. It will follow her instructions. Something nudged his chin. Woman softly pushed against his chin, somehow rousing him and pulling him back from the brink. I know you are tired, but now is not your time for rest, Zabi said, and he opened his eyes with great effort. There is much to be done. You can rest later, my friend. Now he was awake. The beast pulled at the hem of his clothes, pulled him to a nearby river so he could drink, to a berry bush so he could eat, and to a small village so he could fight against those who had destroyed his home. That small village had been Fenwal, but it was not the last. After their victory, Talon would continue to feel the deep melancholy and wander into the forest, always to be brought back by his beast companion, and each time a new threat would rise up. He defeated powerful men and horrific monsters before vanishing suddenly. No one knows exactly what happened to him. The beast was never seen again. No one knows where the glade was, and many scholars believe he was somehow taken somewhere. He could finally rest with his beast behind his side. Talon of the Highlands was instrumental in warding off the raiders and establishing the earlier stages of civilization. His feats of heroism are celebrated across the islands, giving hope where there may be none. And she kind of does a small little bow and steps back.
Hold on. And as this retelling of a heroic person. The time that you are not probably aware of, Wade, and most people here aren't aware of. The story of a man who went from points of low to points of high, something vaguely similar to your own story to a degree, or maybe even if only in the beginning stages. You all take in the words, you will take a listen, and you will hear the desires of Nivara's intentions through this story. And you will take a step back, leaving one more person left currently from your party, looking at your body, Wade, with a bit of intention. Thank you, Mom, for the 2 years, Silb. That was not the intention. Josiah.
Yep.
You're
He
up
has 2 cups in his hands. He sort of swaggers up, puts them by the body. And he just says, I'll do the offering after. And he goes, Wade, you're not a friend to me. You're a comrade, a blood brother. I couldn't bring back my friends and comrades I lost along the way, especially those of us that stood up to Jacob, but you can come back. You fell in a dark time in your life, that bitch putting a splint in your heart. You may feel like you have nothing left to live for, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Think about all the people who depend on you, party who look up to you as a leader. The townspeople rely on you to keep them safe from the likes of me and my ex-comrades. You can't just give up on that because of one person. Destiny said for you to fall, but it's also calling for you to come back. We can do something for this place. Finish a path we have just started. If you stay down, I can't get angry at the dead, but I will continue on my path. But I feel that there will be less blood and death if you come with me. And then he speaks in a tongue I don't know if people know, Navi's as Noe Zit Salam. And then he says, remember the salt and the sand, blood brother. He dumps salt water, sand, and then he cuts his hand and a few drops of blood onto it.
So you speak these words in a tongue that I don't believe anyone in the party knows. The cleric does kind of look up a little bit, and you see there's some recognition, but he doesn't obviously say anything because he's continuing with the ritual. And you splash the sand, you spray the sea water, and you cut your hand and just allow a few drops just drop. And Wade, you see all this go down. Ben, actually, DM Matt and tell him what those words were, because given the situation, I believe that
Magical translation.
yeah, that's kind of the gist. Yeah, I believe you, although you'd hear the words and you don't recognize the language, but you would then hear like in dial tone afterwards, like you'd get the message transcribed in some
Discorded.
and it helps. And again, you finish this ritual, Wade thoroughly moistened, and you take a step back. And then Thalen steps up after the 4 of you have spoken, and we'll kind of, as the cleric is still working around the ritual, it's probably been about 40 minutes maybe overall in terms of you guys taking your time doing the card rings and various things. And Thalen walks up and again, Wade, you don't know this person. You never saw him. And so as far as you're aware, you see this stranger walk up to the dais and look at you and go, well, it seems your friends have great need of you. They've gone to great efforts to request that you return, and I think, and he'll look back, vaguely look at you guys, I think they're in great need of it. Sounds from what they've explained and from what the Bonnie boy has explained, that you are a very capable warrior and someone with a nuance or leadership. I think you'll make a good one if you decide to come back, or if not. So, how about this? I have just a thing. If you do decide to come back, I have a gift for you. But only if you choose to come back. Understand me? Wade?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't need to. It was rhetorical. You're dead.
I just want what?
Yeah.
You're dead. Actually, make a perception check, Wade. As obviously
Me?
you're watching, you're watching Thalen like closely because you know he's all upon your shit. I'll pull you in a whispers a quick sec.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. It's okay. It's okay. Wait,
Hello.
you see, behind Thalen again, the halfling chap. You see a figure, and nobody else has responded to it in any way. But you see a figure stood behind him, looming over, shadowy in nature, and I'm going to send you a picture. And obviously I've had to scribble on it a little bit to cover up some text. But you see this creature looking at the party that have just completed their part in the ritual.
Fuck.
Have you got it?
Yeah.
And it is
Oh,
very
okay.
closely watching the party. Whether it's one specific person or all of them generally, you don't know. But nobody has made comment on it. Nobody has made any response. So as far as you're aware, it maybe seems that it holds some invisibility, and maybe given your current state, you are the only one that can see it. You assume. Because nobody is reacting. But it follows Thalen as he walks closely. Almost back to back touching. And then will eventually, once Thalen returns to his position, stand very closely behind with her left hand, as you notice it's feminine in nature, on his left shoulder, reaching down. And despite Thalen being a short man, about 3 foot, this creature looks to be about 8 foot plus, and its long arm just reaches down and is just on his shoulder. That's it, buddy. I'm taking you back.
What?
There we go.
Welcome back.
God, okay.
As the latter stages of this ritual comes in, and Thalen has spoken his piece and then walks away, probably to some various different opinions of your guys' for intruding on such a personal ritual. 40 minutes, 45 minutes, 50 minutes. And if anyone would like to go again, now is the time. Because there's no limit of you can only speak once and that is it. It's just you have an hour. So, again, 47 minutes.
No, I think
50.
her familiar is kind of curled up next to Wade, like on his just warmth. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
an animal when it knows its owner's sick, it's just kind of
Okay.
got close.
I understand the
and
sentiment, yeah.
Trying to bring it back, yeah.
52 minutes. 54 minutes. 56. 57. 8. 9. As the ritual seemingly concludes, you watch the hands of the cleric go bright white instead of the hue of yellow that you have seen before. And in one, almost like a flashbang of like a bright splash of light that just completely fills the room and makes everyone kind of like blink and look away for a second. And as the light dims, Matt, do the party and the people in this room see a breath of inhalation take place, or does the body remain still? As you have gotten yourself to a point where...
What?
Oh, go on.
Yeah, wait, stays dead.
Aw. I'm taking my pillow back.
Wade, you feel yourself get to the point and you feel a pull in 2 directions. And you feel the power to break but one of the tethers. One, taking you back to the afterlife, which you have just gotten a taste of. And one, your body healed and waiting for you. You take a moment, you've taken the entire hour to think this over, hearing the people speak their words, hearing the intentions, seeing the things unfold and unfurl in front of you. And you cut one of the tethers attached to one of your arms. And you're pulled out of this room. The wisp disappears, or has disappeared in the flash that you guys didn't see it disappear. Wade, you will return to the afterlife and the peace and serenity that you had made yourself. The body doesn't move. Donahue waits and looks, extends a hand and checks the pulse and checks various different things. And kind of you see him scrunch his face up a little bit and then take a short sigh. And it's plain to see to the party in front of you what has happened or didn't happen. As Donahue looks at Thalen first, and then looks at you all, and Thalen he's looking at the priest and then at you guys. I'm sorry, it seems your friend made his choice. The spell was successful, but he was content. Is there anything that I can do? And the four of you stand there in silence. And just mild reflection of the realization of that is it.
Josiah will get up and just go, it's a week then, and walks off.
And Thalen will look at you all, still looking at you all, and will go, well, it is unfortunate, but it seems your friend did not wish to return. Do you, huh? It seems he must be happy with wherever he's gone to. Unfortunate.
Navarro, oh no, I think I'm still muted.
No, you're not muted.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Navarro just kind of looks at him, and for a second, I don't know if Failure catches it, but he just sees this kind of deep intensity, and she'll just get up and walk out of the room.
Let's insight
just
check him.
leave.
We'll let him insight check you, I should say. Okay.
Oh yeah, like, you know, the look of somebody who's like, fuck you, everything.
Oh no, fuck you,
I hate
fuck your mother. Like, yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get it. And you know what? Out of everybody there, I expected you to be the one to react like it. He won't say
Yeah,
anything.
she
He won't say anything to
firmly
you,
believes.
but he will very swiftly move his eyes and like you look at Josiah, and whether Josiah looks or not, that's not the point.
He's already sort of walking out. He just sort of muttered weak and walked off. Like,
Dax, Barnett, do you two do anything as Thalen very clearly mithered by the
I'm taking my
disrespect?
pillow back.
Oh yeah, he.
Just
So, I think we should leave this room, yes? The rest of you?
agreed.
Let Donahue dispose of the body. Right, Donahue?
No, oh, I'm not there anymore.
You walked out. And Donahue will kind of just go, I will make final rights if is required. Donahue, get rid of it. And Donahue will just won't respond. And this is as you guys have been ushered out the room. And Dax, being probably the last one out at this point, you would probably hear it. And you'll notice a change in the tone of Thalen a little bit. The flouncy, psychotic weirdo, it's now gone sharp. And cut. The words cut, even knowing they're not even directed at you.
Mm.
He will follow you out. And he will shout down the hallway, Thalen will, to the people that are at various stages of fucking off to their rooms. I would imagine Nivara's probably on the stairs, like, Josiah's probably in the foyer, like, about to start going up the stairs, and you know what I mean, in a queue. All of you get some rest. You're going to need it. That's it. You all, one by one, doors to your room. And Vlad, you would hear the commotion enough that you would be confident that people are returning. You don't obviously the success or failure.
I would anticipate failure, considering I hear a door slamming.
Yeah, probably. Right, Nivara, do you slam the door?
Oh no, she's not a door slammer.
All right, fair enough.
Does
more-
okay?
She'll close it, but
The scream from your room probably will tell me.
no, it's more so just this kind of deep-seated seething. Like she's not breathing anymore; she's just seething. Do you know what I mean? When someone is absolutely so frustrated beyond belief and firmly believes that Thalion fucked with it. Do you know what I mean? Like he's the reason why Wade didn't come back. Oh yeah, like he just made an enemy. Like,
interesting.
Never mind.
I'll be interested to hear in character how the thought
yeah.
process behind
That's
that.
how a character.
No. I'm just curious. When it gets brought up, I'm curious to hear how you think that. But you all, one by one, return to your rooms. Do you guys do anything? Does one of you go and knock on the door of another? There's no guards in your room. Not in your room, sorry. But in the hallway where all your rooms are. The closest guard you believe is at the bottom of the stairs in the foyer.
I would have perhaps suggested laying the body to rest.
You would have been ushered out through Thalen's orders, and the guards would have requested you leave and let Donahue work, sort of thing. As Donahue was given the stern order to get rid of it, as you would have heard that.
Yeah.
But obviously you would be aware of Donahue. You saw Donahue's reaction. He's obviously not that type of. He's gonna. He and the way he's prepared the body already and things like that. He's very respectful and has obviously done this before. You know what I mean? You feel confident in his ability to be respectful. No, I don't need anything bringing up, thanks.
Oh dear.
It is the twilight hour, as it is 1 o'clock in the morning now, you would assume, given it was midnight when the ritual began. Do you guys do anything? Or do you all, as best as you can, rest? Or attempt to rest, I should say, for some people.
I think Nivara will sleep for the first time since she's met all these people. Like she doesn't want to be awake right now, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like
rather than
there's
meditate.
Yeah. Rather than let her mind go, she actually tries to sleep.
Dax will go a bit exploring, see what's around the area.
Like explore the manor.
Yeah, the place where we're allowed to go, basically.
Yeah. Does anyone else do anything before I go through this with Adam? Cool.
No.
Beautiful. So, it is a 2-story house. The upper floor is almost entirely dedicated to amenities, washrooms, things like this, storage for clothes, items, supplies, and guest rooms. You are able to, within reason, if not, obviously you can't go into like the storage rooms, those doors are locked. But you have already been shown, and this obviously would have been last session, so I'm telling you, you would have been shown to where the washroom facilities are, anything that you guys would need, the different guest rooms. You can see some aren't in use currently. There are other empty guest rooms. there are the storage rooms, which are clearly labeled as medical storage, clothing, textiles. So you can kind of gauge what's going to be in there, because they're not massive like warehouse size rooms. They're more like janitor closet size, and you could probably assume there's a couple of crates in there of various different things. You go to head downstairs, and you can see there's one guard keeping watch, and will hear you and kind of turn, and it doesn't say anything unless you speak to him, but will just acknowledge that he sees you.
Yeah.
You've got the front door, which is directly in front of you, and then obviously you've got the hallway, which goes deeper into the manor. You go past the cleric's office, sort of small place of prayer where Wade was first placed. You see the waiting room where Thalen was met for the first time in like a small lounge area. There are other doors that are locked, and there's a couple of guards a lot dotted around that explain, sorry, you can't, it's the kitchen and other various facilities in the building. And going through, you will eventually get to a large set of double doors of like a dark red wood. And 3 guards are stood outside, and one will break off and walk over to you as he sees you approaching the door and just be like, sorry, sir, but you can't go in there. That is Thalen's quarters.
I take it his own personal quarters.
Of course, yes. It's obviously kitted out for him and things like that, however he needs it. Only people allowed in there are people that he allows in, and us, because we ensure things are kept safe. Is there anything you need? Are you looking for something, or did you wish to speak to the Emperor?
No, just having a just general wander around.
Understood. There's not much of interest in here, really, but the other thing of purview, I would say, is possibly the range outside if you want to test any like crossbows or anything like that you have. There are some like straw men if you wish to test any blades.
Yeah,
but in terms of the house, it's just a house, so not much to really garner.
What's the general decoration of the house like?
It's very well decorated. It's as well decorated as a nobleman's house could be that's isolated in a tropical island.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, but there's an attempt, and it is visibly tried to be kept as nice as possible. It is very clean.
Is there anything like kind of like pictures, portraits, like that catch my eye?
You do find a lot of self-portraits, actually. There's a lot of imagery, and you'll notice a lot of the artwork around the house is period artwork, like it's old, and a lot of it seems to be of Thalen or of a period of Thalen's rule, essentially. And you can see like great battle scenes depicted. You can see various iconographies of Burgundia, and you know that because there are small placards and stuff on some of them explaining such. And then obviously you start seeing the same iconography in other places, and you recognize that it's a lot of artwork and pieces from Burgundia from his era. It seems when he was brought here, a lot of it was probably brought with him.
That's some interesting pieces, Dan.
You see, like, him sat on, like, various different chairs and in various rooms of Lorditure. You can see different battle scenes where he's leading. You can see various parts where he's looking over an army that has seemingly gone into surrender.
I guess you like his postures and that, like he's all like in victory.
Shoulders back, chest forward, tall as can be, proud.
Proud, yeah, I was about to say. Very proud of each photo.
heroic and almost like impenetrable. Perfect. Do you know what I mean? If a way could be described.
Would they kind of spot like any mistakes on any of the photo pictures?
Make a perception check.
Hmm.
You don't spot any mistakes per se. Obviously, there are imperfections on some, although it does seem that the people who made these are of a certain skill level. They are very, very well done and probably, worth a bit of money as well. Assuming you could find someone willing to buy them.
Yeah. The path I was going to go down would it have been like rushed or
No.
participated in
No.
fear of like
These are immaculate. There are very slight imperfections, like no painting is truly perfect. But
Yeah.
these are masterpieces. These are, all of them individually are masterpieces. And if you're going down the route I think you are, you would probably assume that those that couldn't produce were dealt with.
Hmm.
So if you're trying to think of like people doing it under duress and fear, I would imagine those artworks aren't going to be displayed.
Yeah.
If there are issues with them. Every single one individually is a masterwork to their own right.
Hmm.
Probably done by the same group of people, the same handful of people. But as you're looking over these paintings, you feel a chill run across your back.
Ooh.
And you kind of spin around and there's nothing there. And you notice you're currently in a part of the corridor where you're like alone. There's lights and you can hear guards talking amongst themselves quietly because it's late at night. And you just hear right next to your ear what you swear is like a small growl, like a large feline growl in your ear, and it kind of just makes you reflexively repulse, and you kind of spin around. Fuck all there.
I'd stay there for like another minute, see if I can still hear it.
Make a perception check. You don't hear it again. You don't hear a growl. You don't feel the chill. You just get an uneasy feeling now at this point. A bit of paranoia sets in to a degree as you just feel like something is there.
Yeah. I think I just slowly head back to like where the guards are, and then just head back up to their chambers.
As you walk past some of the guards, you notice that the demeanor of some of the guards is altered slightly. Whereas obviously there was a bit of chatter and stuff, and they'd watch you and like carefully like make sure that you're not like going anywhere you shouldn't be. There seems to be a bit more of a calmness around the guards. They're not chatting amongst you. They're stood there silently, just keeping an eye out. They don't really seem to watch you at all, if anything, and they just seem to just be lackadaisically just looking around the corridor, assuming, like a guard on the town, almost presuming something's about to happen and just kind of being ready. The guard at the bottom of the stairs doesn't say a word to you. None of the other guards that like give you nods and gestures. You walk back to your room.
Yeah.
You open the door and you shut the door. Presence goes away.
Hmm. Okay, I'll open the door slightly.
Presence is gone. You don't feel it no more.
Go back out into the corridor.
Nope. It's gone.
Hmm. Okay, I'll head down then to the firing range.
Okay. Head to the firing range, and you go out the front door and shut the door behind you, and you head your way around. You can see the straw men, you can see the targets, you can see the various implements designed for practice of martial weaponry.
Yeah, I'll just do some practice with the crossbow and the dagger. For a short back, and then I'll go back to the room after.
Easy enough.
Just something on a light exercise.
Okay. The rest of you are, while this is all going on, resting, trying to rest in your rooms. Naivara, are you there? Are you with me? Hi. She's not here.
Hello?
There she is.
I'm here. Just,
I'm
yeah.
gonna make. This is obviously a thing for you, but I'm just gonna do it in main. It's fine.
That's fine.
You're asleep, and so it takes you a while to get to sleep. But once you are out, you are out. Your dreams are erratic at best, but that's probably because of the stresses of everything going on. And after ages, you feel, you don't know how long it is exactly. You start to see, yeah, you start to see eyes in your dreams. Specifically, 3 of them. Red with a black iris. And they follow you in your dream. Your dreams carry on monotonous as normal. Some about your studies, some about the various experiences. You've had probably some dreams and aspirations, maybe even a few fantasies or 2. But these eyes follow you, and you start to feel presence, a overwhelming presence of something lurching over you, behind you. But when you turn, there's nothing there, but the presence remains. Something is stalking. Sort. And I'm just going to send you an image on Facebook, and that's going to depict, like, it just gives you a bit of a visual of what you are seeing. And I'm going to close Facebook tab down so it doesn't ping from anyone else messaging me, potentially.
This is 1 hour away to introduce Matt's new character.
No.
I mean, I would be less surprised if we hadn't heard growling and, that kind of thing. And if I just didn't get the image I got, it might be Matt's new character. Like, I don't know.
I do not know what you're implying.
You're a furry.
If it has fur or feathers or scales, mate, we're going to have a chat later. Not judging you, but dude.
You're a furry, Matthew. And a great thumping biggin at that.
Not a furry, I'm just
okay.
a fur enthusiast.
What's the difference? But either way.
Semantics? Mm-hmm.
And the dreams... Yeah. You struggle to enjoy them. You struggle and struggle and struggle. And eventually, and this is probably like 2-3 hours into trying to sleep, so like 3-4 in the morning maybe, you eventually, your body's rejecting the exercise of this dream state. It's not pleasant, and you shock yourself awake. And you jolt up, and you just see the shadowy outline of something disappear to nothingness. Something was leaning over you while you were asleep, on top of you, like on your bed. And as you kind of wake up and jolt and sit up, you just watch as it just disappears. Similar to the image I sent you.
She'll kind of like, even though it's in the early hours of the morning at this point, we'll kind of, get up off the bed and kind of look around and just be, hello? Is there anybody there? Maybe somebody who wants to chat? Seeing as you kept on sticking your fingers in my dreams? Hello?
Takes a moment. But in one of the shadowy corners of the room, you see 3 red eyes open, standing probably 8.5 foot tall in the corner of your room, just looking over at you, opposite you. Doesn't say anything.
Oh. There you are. So, is this to intimidate me? Because I've had a very shit day and I'm not really in the mood for somebody trying to throw their weight around. So maybe we can have a civilized conversation. No?
In your head, you hear a very faint telepathic voice. I am here because of a deal that has been struck. I am acting upon my word. And you are...
Sorry?
and
you wanted my
you
name?
are...
I am what? You said you are here acting upon a deal, but you do not tell me who made this deal, what this deal is, etc., etc. You understand.
The deal
I am just here.
I've made is none of your concern.
Okay.
Who are you?
What?
You are the first one to have successfully seen me so easily.
Well, you did kind of shove yourself into my dreams. I could not ignore you. Have you always been able to do that? Or were you just watching to gain information for Thalion?
It is something that I've always been able to do, amongst other things.
Other things? Oh, color me impressed. What else can you do?
I suppose you'll find out soon enough.
Oh, how exciting. So, if you wouldn't mind, if I can maybe have a bit of a heads up, because I have never met something like you, and you would be a wondrous study into the scientifics of actual people who are able to surf upon dreams.
And taking a step forward, into like more into the moonlight, you see this black-skinned, furless lioness in a humanoid style, feminine body with a white lion's head, and you can see the 2 red eyes and then a central one in the forehead with a long set of almost like mane fur that goes down the back, wearing various bits of bone and fur, wielding a staff that has like this gnarled glyph at the end.
Do I recognize it?
I was just about to say, I was literally just about to say, you can make either a religion, a nature, or a history, or an arcana check, depending on what you think is more appropriate.
I'm gonna go for history to see if I've ever seen or heard about it. If this glyph has been somewhere, because if it's an arcanic glyph, if I've spotted it somewhere, I'm gonna use history to see if it's in my history, you know? It doesn't really matter. Most of my intelligence scores are 6 anyway, so I'm just picking it for flavour.
That's fine.
Ooh, that'd be a 25.
You don't recognize the gnarled glyph, but can you make a religion check?
I can make a religion check. Here we go. I'm just rolling the dice. 17? I mean, that's pretty decent.
Recognize some of the visual details of the creature, and you don't quite remember what they're known as, like in terms of their name. But you recognize through stories of such creatures that, and following on some of the details and some of the visual descriptors and stuff you can see, it looks to be, it's once celestial in nature, but it's obviously long since malformed and has diverged. You recognize it as something that usually is done usually see these in battlefields and things like this. They're known to help improve warriors in times of need through packs and things like this, to help seek out wrath or vengeance, or the means in which to do the deeds they wish to do. They are extremely powerful, especially compared to you, as you are currently, and are known to be tricky. They are extremely well-trained and high martial prowess, and you don't see them terribly often. They're incredibly rare.
You are a amazing specimen. I have never quite heard of. I certainly myself, I have never seen someone like yourself out of books. You know, it is an honor to meet you.
I have been told to tell you. You have 6 hours.
6 hours? From what?
Head start.
Head start? Oh, wait. Who? Sorry. Jacob, Charlotte, or Josiah? Which one have you made a deal with? Please, just tell me that. Then I will be able to usher my people along quite quicker.
You all have 6 hours.
Oh. Okay. 6 hours? So now it's currently, and she'll look out the window, before dawn. Why are we being given this head start?
Makes it more fun for me when I find you.
Oh. Why are you threatening annihilation?
A hunt. This island is my playground, and you are upon it. You are all upon it.
Cool. So, yes, right. We will leave soon. Obviously, we will make sure that we are off the island within 6 hours. I will gather my friends. But would you mind giving a message back to Thalon when you see him, or Thalion, as he's more commonly known as, if it is not too much trouble? If he is your master.
Doesn't respond, but he's currently looking at you. And you watch as the mouth is turned to a slight grin. As you can almost imagine, the thoughts going through the head of probably several different ways of hunting you guys down and killing you all.
Mm-hmm. And Naivara's gazes away, even though she knows this thing is so much more powerful than her and so much.
From what you remember, this is a creature that is extremely, extremely strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not something you guys can take on very easily.
Oh no. Naivara will step forward until she's about maybe a foot away and kind of looking up at the creature that's there. Tell Thalion that one day I will come back and I will make him wish that he had not been put in a cage. As I think Wade has shown us today, there is some freedom in death, and I'm sure one day Thalion will be lucky enough to experience it.
As you do, as you kind of like step up to it, it bites out at you.
Oh shit. Okay, cool.
24 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Yep, I figured as much. Just let me... 16 points of piercing damage as it just bites into you. And it just latches onto your shoulder.
I'm unconscious.
Luckily for you, though, you don't need to make a con save or anything like that. But you instantly just feel this presence just lash out at you and it's instant. Like the speed, like you don't even have a time to react as you're mid-sentence, as this creature just bites at you and just rips into you, and you can feel the teeth bare and break it, and you just instantly black out. And you do let out like a yelp, but you really can't get much out because it's so instantaneous, and you just fall unconscious. And you do kind of panic for a moment, like, fuck, this is bad, I'm on my own. And the rest of you do hear, like, I would say it's loud enough that people with higher perception, like Vlad and Dax and stuff, would jolt awake, and maybe even Josiah. And you would hear a commotion come through and a loud banging come through from Nivara's room, which from Nivara, it's as you hit the deck, essentially.
Whose room is next door?
I believe you were opposite Nivara or something like that. I can't remember the exact layout.
So if I had heard that, I would have got up and obviously gone to the door. And obviously I'll have my shield and hammer with me just in case, and you never know.
Yeah, unarmored, but weapons ready.
Knock on the door.
There's no response.
I'll knock again.
No
just in
response.
case. Is the door unlocked?
Yes.
I'd open it, but cautiously, and obviously, Nivara, you okay?
And as you gently open the door, you see Nivara collapsed in a heap on the floor. Not bleeding out, but there is blood on the floor, and you can see like the splatters of like a spurting wound, and you can see like essentially her nightgown, like the left shoulder has been torn up, and you can just see a big set of animal teeth marks just going all the way across the chest and the breastbone, and then up across the shoulder and onto the shoulder blade on the back.
Can I see anything in the room?
No.
Right. I'm going to do a perception check just in case.
Well, yes, you may. You do see that Nivara is breathing. That is the good part. Essentially, Nivara, for you mechanically, you were knocked to stable 0.
Yeah.
You wasn't killed. You wasn't knocked unconscious, but on death saves, you were instantaneously stabilized through whatever means and reasoning.
And I'd cast that on her just as a, standing guard as such.
And as quick as you fall unconscious, Nivara, you jolt awake through the cure wounds as you regain 10 of the hit points you took.
Okay, Nivara.
And you kind of look, Nivara, and creature's gone.
What attacked you?
It doesn't really matter, Vlad. It was something that wanted us to heed its warning. I suggest that we do, and we leave immediately. We have 6 hours, apparently. Let's go. I don't want to spend any more time in this place than we have to. Not under the roof of that man.
Oh, great.
Let's fetch the others and leaves.
What has he done?
I'm sorry, did he need to do more than what he has already done?
Oh, great. Okay.
No.
You okay by yourself?
And just as a point out, the teeth marks in Nivara, it looks consistent. Like, take a lion as a base level. It looks like twice, maybe even thrice the size, like in terms of what you'd expect a bite wound to be. This thing's fucking massive, whatever did it.
Where are you going, Vlad?
Well, I'm asking you. Are you okay to get dressed yourself, and while I get my armor kitted on myself?
Do other people come in after hearing the commotion? Just as an FYI.
Yeah.
You'll know.
Yeah.
People that do come out. Obviously, Vlad was being in his state would have come out from his slumber, and like, because he was kind of already on edge anyway, and you would see the door's probably been left open by Vlad, and you can hear talking, and you'll eventually see Vlad looking over what was a heavily wounded Nivara. You can still see the blood on the floor and the walls, like splattered. You can see the blood-stained nightgown where it's like torn on the left shoulder. Obviously, the wound is now since closed up, I believe, entirely from 10 hit points.
I still have 3 hit points to go. But,
Okay, so
yeah,
it's still
majority of my hit points.
the vast majority. Yeah, it's still there, but not.
Sluggishly bleeding.
Yeah, it's now more like just like a deep cut now, but compared to what it was, I think that's a massive improvement.
I suggest we gather our things and leave immediately. We have 6 hours. I do not want to be here when that things comes back, and I do not want to be here to listen to any more of his putrid words. Let us leave.
What thing? What?
I think what she's saying is she'll fill us in when we're on the ship
Yes.
off the way out of here.
Yes. Let's
I'll turn round and go back to my room and don my armour.
seeing Josiah's kind of reluctance. She'll kind of walk over to him and go, "Trust me, there is a reason why I am saying this. And once we're on the boat, I'll explain all. But I need a little trust for just a moment, please."
Nod and get his stuff.
Cool. And I'll look over at Barnet and Dax and just be like, "Same
Yeah.
to you two. Get your stuff. Let's go. Let's head back to this outpost as quickly as we can."
Yes,
think
get out of
that-
this shithole.
Oh yeah. Yes, let's go. She'll begin getting dressed, I guess.
Yeah.
And grab her
Obviously,
stuff.
shooing everyone
Yeah.
out the room for a bit of privacy, so you can kind of tend to, because it still fucking hurts. Like, and you gently take the nightgown off and kind of see the remnants of what's left. Has been mostly healed, and you get yourself dressed. Everyone else gets themselves ready as quickly as possible, heeding the warning that has been given to you. And for the most of you, none of you understand what the fuck's going on. But seeing your friend wounded, it's enough of a motivator. You all get yourselves ready. You spend probably, I know for Vlad it's going to take the better part of like 10-15 minutes because heavy armor. Some of you, it's much quicker. You all get yourselves ready.
Mhm. Go to the boat as quickly as we can. Let's get. Yeah, Naivara will be like, as soon as everyone's got their stuff, we'll be marching down and through. Like, even if anyone tries to say anything, she's getting out of there. Do you know what I mean? Let's leave. I feel like we have outstayed our welcome. So yeah, can we get back to the boat?
Yeah. And what I'm going to do, just to keep everyone in the loop, I'm going to put on the screen a visual of the creature that you saw, Naivara. Just because, you know, ignore the blue scribble, by the way. Because obviously that's covering some text, because the only token I could find was from the book. That is what was confronting our dear sweet Naivara.
It's Matt's new character.
Yeah.
I told you, it's got fan on it. Also, I've got to say, I I find it very funny. Matt's like, "Did anyone get Wade's stuff?" No, he's dead.
No.
Didn't get any of his shit.
Everything, as far as I'm aware, that is on your character sheet for Wade is with Wade. I don't believe anybody from the party took anything.
Don't even know what Wade
Buy
had.
that thing that might be important.
Sorry, dude.
Well, PvP,
You
just to let you
decided
know,
to die.
this map that I'm using, it's a map I made. So that's why the Roll20 looks so pretty, I guess.
He didn't have the dagger though, did he?
He did.
Yep.
I
I mean, we're
if it's on his
leaving
sheet,
at the moment. You can go grab it if you want to.
it's on
I
his
would
sheet.
have got the
Like-
dagger because it's like the whole fucking thing.
So that's what I was worried about. But yeah, Wade had the winged dagger, so is anyone picking that up?
Yeah, just I would have had the dagger. I assume we would have just got that off his body first thing, but
I will.
Oh, yeah.
I will allow a retcon to a degree to have taken that off, like say even back on the ship. So
I
yeah,
assume they would have taken the body, not his things, so you would have had.
the priest,
It's
as far as you were aware, kept like your backpack and your belongings with you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's not his place to say or do anything with those. He was keeping them with you, and you would assume when your rights
Would we
Red.
have taken them off the boat, though? This is my point. Why would you move? You move the body. You wouldn't move the body and the belongings. Like, I can understand if his backpack had it. Why would you not take a backpack off someone who's dead? Like,
Hmm.
do you know what I mean? In back on the boat a little bit. But if you want to say that he had some stuff on his body,
we'll say
you
that
might
there
not
was.
have
We'll say
witnessed
that there's
this.
probably like his basics, like his camping kit and
Mhm.
stuff. He's all on the ship. Because yeah, like you would even in a fight, you wouldn't carry that on you. But yeah. But
Mhm.
everything that was in his pockets, weapons, equipment, coin, that's all on him.
yeah. Cool. So yeah, we're getting the fuck out of Dodge, please. It's not a problem if you don't admit it's a problem.
You all
go.
begin to gather yourselves, and you all gather in the hallway. You head down to the front door, and the guard is still doesn't acknowledge any of you, but he's just watching and looking around. And you all go past him. The front door's locked.
Smash a window and get out of here, guys.
Oh, we asked nicely. Unlock the door, please. We would like to leave.
Who's this to?
The guard.
To the guard that's currently standing there.
There's no response.
Oh, feck.
The guard carries on being in idle NPC mode, almost as if you're not even there. Acting as if the room is empty.
Oh, feck.
Okay, I'd move to the 3 guards where
No, wait. Let's just
And he's-
use one of these big windows, smash it open, and get the fuck out of
Well,
here.
let's see if the window opens first.
We've been held captive.
Let's see
Yeah,
if the window
let's
opens
see if the window
first.
opens.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
logical way.
Just Josiah will poke the guard in the face with a finger.
Oh no! Don't antagonise them.
Yeah, just
Just
out of
open the
curiosity,
window.
where are you poking the guard in the face?
Like in the
Oh.
cheek.
God.
Oh, no,
You
people knows.
You kind of like
No.
reach out with the finger and you just like poke, and the guard nudges. Like it's not like an illusion or anything like that.
Let's
My
not
God.
antagonise
It's
them.
ignoring me, basically.
Yeah, the guard's body reacts to being poked, but doesn't acknowledge it in any way.
Well, you're a rude son of a bitch.
Oh God.
There's still no response.
Sir, could you please open the door for us? If not, we'll have to open our door ourselves.
There's nothing. The guard just continues to look and scan the room like a guard on duty.
Oh,
Oh,
I
is
think as
Is there a
captive-
window?
No, Vara, you got to tell me what's happening or I'm going to start killing people.
No, you're not going to kill people.
Well, what's
We were
what's
giving-
happening?
Okay, so I was visited in my dreams by this weird creature. It told me we had 6 hours to leave and it would start hunting us. Dalian, the guy that you made a deal with, has decided to hold us captive and wait until that 6 hours are up before killing us. Shall we get the fuck out of here now? Or shall I wait another few minutes until 6 hours tick by and then suddenly we're all dead? Got shit to do.
So-
Let's go.
We've
Me-
got 6 hours to kill him and leave, haven't we? If he's fucked us
No.
over.
No. So you made the deal with the devil, who now wants payment in our lives. That's
not,
the problem.
that's not a deal.
No.
You-
Nope.
We also cannot kill Dalian because he is technically under, like, whatever we do, we are in a shit situation unless we get out of here. So I suggest we either Barnett, start hacking away at that door. Let's smash through the
Well,
windows.
Let's see if the window's
Oh, the
open
win-
first.
Wouldn't it be quicker to smash through it?
Can I try do the lock first?
Oh yeah, we got a thief. Let's try and pick in the lock first.
Say that again, Adam.
Can I try pick the lock?
You certainly may. Do you have a thieves' tools set?
Yes.
Okay, can you make me a thieves' tools check? Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
I am, funny enough. I did check
So,
this last time.
Can I have a dexterity check plus proficiency?
So,
Normally, I wouldn't condone using thieves' tools to break through doors, but as we're trying to get out of building, I will happily condone this.
plus
Um,
2 into
Exactly.
yes.
Is that plus 4? Do you need to add another plus to that for the proficiency, or is that with proficiency?
That's without. It's just standard.
So proficiency is plus 2, so that makes it an 18.
Yeah.
takes a few moments. Obviously, locks aren't the quickest thing in the world. You can't like just do like a tap and they're done. But you do manage to, you feel movement of the pins and the tumbler, and you do eventually manage to. You hear a shift and a click, and the door is unlocked.
Let's go. I'm gonna grab onto Josiah's arm and just be like, please, I understand this guy has gone back on your deal, and we will make him pay. I promise you that. What he has done to us as a collective and to Wade is very problematic, but I need for you to come with us, please.
All right.
Brilliant. Oh, we leave, please, dear.
As
Yeah.
quickly as possible.
You swing
Yeah,
the doors
head to the
open
back.
and you head out. And
Just a quick glance. Does the guard do anything once the doors open, or is he just still there, standing?
doesn't move.
Right.
Unresponsive to any actions you guys are taking. And you guys quickly burst open the doors.
Before
And
we get back to the boat, I will ask for anybody to check themselves to see if anything is basic. So yeah, Naivara will be like, just in case we are carrying an additional passenger, can anyone check their items, their belongings, see if there is anything on them? I am really worried that, you get a bunch of people to run away to escape, they're not going to check things. Let's check,
Do
you know?
you want me to do detect magic?
Yes, see if there is anything hiding upon us. I'm just saying,
There
it
you
would
go.
be the way that I would escape from a prison, you know? I'm going to write that down for later because that might be useful. My
You-
brainwave
you-
works sometimes.
you quickly cast detect magic, and like an orb of understanding within 30 feet of you pings. And currently, you feel from the guard a heavy aura of illusion magic and what was the other one? Give me a sec. I just need to pull up the DM cheat sheet that I've got. It's illusion magic and something.
And something.
Yes, and something.
Enchantment, maybe?
I believe that's right. Yes, enchantment. Yes,
Accumulation?
yes, it's enchantment. A heavy mix of illusion and enchantment.
I'd mention that to the guys, obviously. At the top,
Illusion magic is pretty obvious as to what illusion magic
Yeah.
means. Enchantment is all about charming people and controlling people.
yeah, like, I'd mention this. And I'd say maybe they're under this, so they can't even see us.
Mm-hmm.
When you say illusion, I'll again start touching the god.
Oh,
and being
God.
like, is what
Leave the guard alone!
is the image of what I'm seeing different from what I'm feeling?
Oh, like a disguise.
I get what you mean, like in case they've like alter self or something.
Mm-hmm.
No, everything seems to match up. The person is fully there. It seems.
Maybe he sees something that we do not see.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's just, yeah.
Do you sense anything, Vlad? Any
anything
passengers?
else?
Any stowaways?
In
Danny?
a 30-foot sphere, you do get the sense of some celestial energies coming from down the hallway. In, the room with the cleric in Donahue.
Yeah.
You do sense some celestial magic there, but it seems to be diminished at the minute, almost as if probably resting.
I'll mention that just in case, because I didn't really do anything part of the this bringing the other bloke back, but no,
But
way back.
The thing that I wanted to point out is the second that you open the doors, it's a dark night. It's a couple of hours before dawn. But almost ahead of you, in the way of the shoreline, you see a bright light coming from ahead of you.
Okay, let's bypass that. Go the long way round.
It's an orange and
Like-
yellow, like, moving light.
Oh,
And you start...
like torches almost. Can we still get down to from where we are?
No,
on the
no,
hilltop?
way bigger than a torch. More like a bonfire.
Okay. Can we get down to the docks without engaging with that bonfire?
Oh no, that is coming from the direction of.
Oh no,
Oh,
have
for
they burnt the
fuck's
ship
sake.
down? I bet they burnt the ship down, haven't they?
I do not know. I suggest we have a few hours. We need to.
What did
Find
you
another ship.
lot agree to?
I heard the panic in
I
his
don't
voice.
know.
What?
Josiah will just head to the fucking bonfire. It's like, they haven't killed us yet, and we'll just head
Yeah,
to
but
the
what on
bonfire.
earth did you lot agree to? I didn't agree to be a sacrifice or anything.
Vlad, this is not important right now. I need you to get your act together. Decision has been made, and we need to do what we need to do. So bickering over we made the decision or not does not help. We are a team. We work together. Do you understand?
Josiah's already gone down to the
Yeah.
bonfire. He's
Yeah,
on his
I'm-
way.
Right,
Following him.
Dax Barnett, do you guys follow Josiah?
Obviously, I'm following him, bloody annoyed.
A little behind, yeah.
Yeah, a little behind, but with caution.
Yeah,
Okay.
cursing under my breath.
And Josiah, you're
Bastards.
you start heading the few minutes it takes back down to the shoreline, and obviously descending from the slight hill that the manor is upon, and eventually you will very quickly begin to see a large fire
Yeah.
coming from the docks as
Here we go.
you start to see the masts of the ship crashing and falling, and you can see two figures of very obscured heights, one short, one tall, stood on the end of the pier while this ship is burning, giving them like a silhouette.
Mm. Do I recognise them at all?
Perception check.
That's my sheet. 10, probably not.
You just see two silhouettes. Because of the fire, it's kind of you just see the shadowy outlines of them. One tall, one short. They're standing next to each other. And the only reason you pick that is because of the height difference in them. One's clearly shorter than the other. And they're seemingly watching the fire.
I'll walk down. I'll bite.
I was going to say, was there anyone else in the area, like, panicking and all that?
Not that you can see, no. Just two people. You don't see the crew of the ship. You don't see the dock guards. You don't see dock workers. Just the fire, the ship, and two people. And Josiah, you start heading your way down, and obviously, as you're getting closer and closer, you start to see them with very slightly more detail. But the problem is, because they're backlit so brightly, it's very hard to see them. And eventually the taller one will kind of turn and look at you, like, or look in your direction, I should say, and will give notice to the other one, and then they'll both turn to look at you. And they make their way up the pier, like, back onto the actual land itself. Like, heading, like, you walk to them, they walk to you, and I reckon, is the rest of the party following semi-behind?
Yeah.
And, like, holding back slightly,
Okay.
just so I've got a little bit of cover.
And walking up, Josiah, eventually you will start to recognise the distinctive features of Thalin Bonamere. And then this large animalistic creature is probably the best way to describe it. With a
Oh,
large staff stood next to him, walking alongside. And they meet you in the middle as best as they can. And Thalin will just respond, "Well, it's a shock to see you awake so early in the morning. And all of you, actually. Yes. I trust that your sleep was not well fed, or did we wake you up with our predicament?"
Josiah's not saying anything. He's just death staring him.
If you're struggling to sleep, I'm sure we can probably arrange some herbal remedies and maybe help you get back into your slumber and your rest ready for the morning, yes?
He's not going to say anything.
I'm biting my tongue here at the moment.
As the rest of you obviously will catch up in various stages. Oh, sorry. She's new, I understand. Probably why you're a little concerned. This is a friend of mine. I believe, what did you... a Dakini? And, like, she'll just respond, a Dakini. Thalen. A Dakini. Yes, that. This one's been talking with me now for... few years now or something, and has been trying to make deals with me for a while, and I finally agreed, and she's come round to see how things are doing. And she's very persuasive, I must say. Took a lot of work from her, but she got where she wanted in the end. So, Josiah, this is Dakini. The Dakini is what I am. Thalen. My name is Sasmura. I'll put that in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies, this is Sasmura. And obviously, this is Vlad, this is Dax, this is Barnett, and this is Naivara. And obviously, introducing Naivara, like, Sasmura looks at you with a... You've met before, but doesn't say anything. And obviously, Naivara, you recognize Sasmura.
Yeah, I'm not there.
I thought you said you were just hanging back.
Yeah, hanging back.
Okay.
Where covers, I'm not near them.
Oh, well then he would probably say, well, there's one called Dax as well, but is he... Oh, did he oversleep? Or something?
You just go, Sasmura, I'm going to kill him. I suspect. Just get out the way, please.
What?
And why are you going to attempt to kill this one?
Just fucks me over by the looks of it. Traps me here.
Josiah, I did not trap you here. I have not fucked you over. If anything, you all have fucked me very thoroughly so far.
Wait a minute, what's this? You all?
Well, I have brought you into my home. I offered you a means to save your friend, and unfortunately, it didn't exactly go to plan. I can't control that. And yet, some members of your troop have done nothing but show just plain disrespect and contempt for me. And I have done nothing but niceness.
Okay, so who's shown you disrespect as such?
Well, we can start with that one for a beginning. I don't think she's said a single word to me that has been even remotely respectful. Gesturing towards Naivara.
Okay, who else?
I think you yourself have had a few choice words in your wordings.
I have not said anything disrespectful. I said I didn't trust the offer.
To say you don't trust my offer is to say that my word means shit.
No, it doesn't.
And I take great offense to this.
So the way you feel this is appropriate is just to try and kill us all?
Well, not really. Sasmura was the one that was insistent, but she has her way of doing things in her own way.
Then. So you are going to try and kill us all? There
I'm not. I don't wish to do anything. I wish. This is all of Sasmura's choice, and.
But you made a deal.
Well, she's been trying for a number of years now, and I've been saying.
Yeah. I do not care. You still made a deal. You still have trapped us on this island by burning our boat. Why?
That was technically Sasmura again.
You still made the deal. She working for you.
Indirectly, you are
We need to fight him. What else are we gonna fucking do? And he always point to Sasmore and say, "Are you going to defend him? Because I need to know."
Oh,
Ooh. The boat's on fire, Midnight. The boat's a fucking inferno.
Yeah,
Ah.
they've basically Midnight. They've stranded us on this island, given us 6 hours, and then going back on every word. This is.
I told you not to
completely-
make a deal.
Ben,
I don't think it was the bad deal.
Yeah.
do me a favor
Bad
and
deal.
roll 1d6 plus 7,
1d6
Plus 7. please.
Okay, it's not
Oh,
bad.
sorry,
Not bad.
sorry. D20, sorry. I'm a fucking idiot. I looked at that and I
Yes, you
went, wait,
are.
that's not what I wanted. And then I realized I said 1d6. So that's a 22.
22.
Can I get a 1d6 plus 7 when I clearly intended for a d20? What do you want, Midnight?
What do I want?
No, Midnight's asking something. Sasmora kind of just like tilts her head at you. Well, I intend to finish my agreement, but from my recollection, you still have 5 hours and a fair few minutes left before I find you.
So, is that the direct answer to are you going to defend him?
She'll defend him in
Let's
about
act.
5 hours.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he'll just be sweet. He'll just go sweet and take his blade out.
Oh god, here we go. We're all gonna die
sounds-
down here.
You can't do this. I am the Emperor.
And
Oh.
he'll walk towards him and just carry on walking towards him and then plunge a blade into his heart unless anyone stops him.
He's gonna
I'm not
start
stopping
as you like get
No.
your blade and start walking towards, and he's gonna start taking steps back, and he gets a little. I am
No
the
barrels. Bring out
Emperor of
Former.
Gandia. I
Former.
am the Emperor, and
And then he
you
will try to stab him, I guess.
make an attack.
Novara's ready and will follow him. So just in case he needs a little assistance.
So what do you want?
Yeah. And this is a repercussion. This is a request from Midnight to help you guys on your mission. Midi wants you to kidnap someone they love, hold them fucking hostage until you get a new fucking boat, then tell them they have a fucking week before you kill that bitch. But let's kill this bitch. So, a 21 hits, and he doesn't. It's not enough to down him, but he like you plunge the blade in as he's like backing onto the like towards the docks, and this is an outrage. You're going to let them treat me like this, Sasmora? Don't you need me as part of your agreement?
And
And Sasmora just stands there with this lioness smirk, just stalwart.
Okay,
He
I'm
doesn't
going to attack again. Let me know. Yeah, okay.
I
I'll
gotta.
second flamed him first.
I'm gonna chronal shift. Try again.
I don't normally do this, but you deserve to burn.
And Josiah will be, no, he's mine.
Well,
I do.
Because everyone's on the
Okay.
beat down, but Josiah's like, I want this.
He passed.
No, I've done. Sorry, chronal shift, so you can try attack again. Like I'm
Okay.
gonna. Shift
Yeah,
the
so
course of
just
history
let me
to-
explain. Let me explain. The rapier with the 21 to hit with 8 damage hits. He passed his dex save because he beat a 14. He had a 15.
Yeah.
The 10 misses, but Rosie's using her reaction to chronal shift, so you may re-roll that d20.
19.
A 19 hits.
12 damage.
He stumbles backwards as you hit him a second time.
Cast
Clearly,
guidance on Josiah.
yeah. So this will be for the next time he hits if needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
clearly heavily wounded, and he'll kind of like you see like a bit of blood just starting to pool in his mouth a little bit, and it. What the fuck are you doing this for? You do realize killing me isn't going to bring your friend back. He chose not to come back. I did my duty. I did more than I ever could have done for all of you. Ugh.
What did you say to him? I know you said something. Well,
Uh,
you were the
yeah.
last one to go.
I'll
What
pause
was it
my
you said?
attack just for that
Yeah,
moment.
yeah. We'll bank that 25. And like that's you kind of all. "Ah, you all heard my words. I even offered him a gift if he came back. And he
What
still
was
said
the-
no.
What was the gift?
I didn't specify to him. But I was going to give him a weapon.
Okay, yeah, so I'll attack.
Okay, and it hits.
9.
And
Is that the finishing blow?
yeah.
Keep going.
Josiah will plunge the rapier into this guy's mouth and rip his tongue out.
Oh!
Holy shit.
I'd smash down. Is there any loose pieces of wood or anything? Like strong pieces of wood?
The
Well, there's
pier.
a burning fucking boat.
Yeah. Well, I'd dig a hole in the ground, shove this piece of wood vertical up, and I'll pick up the body and just dump him on top of it to impale him.
What the fuck?
Oh! He hurt off.
And he's threatened our lives. This guy deserves all he gets.
And just as an FYI, while all this is playing out, Sasmora has her back to everything that's going on because obviously he retreated behind. She's just stood there with the staff at her side with a Cheshire grin.
Listen to us. As he's kind of like the lights leaving his eyes, Nivara will step forward.
Oh no, he's
And
dead
just
as
be like,
shit by the
listen-
time you approach.
Two people that are like fucking.
Well, for his spirit, then that's kind of hovering. She will say, she knows he's dead, but she will say literally, not so much of a tactician now. I thought you could see it all coming, and just steps away from his lifeless, impaled body.
Yeah.
Josiah's already tying the tongue to his necklace
Oh no.
Oh,
with the
dude.
fucking symbol.
So you have garnered yourself a mutilated tongue of Phelan Bonamere. As the Sasmora, the Dakini, stands there, listening and
just-
observing.
Yeah, I guess Josiah will walk past and go 5 hours.
And 45 minutes.
give or take. I literally meant to
Yeah,
say
sorry.
40 minutes.
Okay, he'll just nod and walk past.
We
Right.
need to
Good
find
luck.
the defensive positions
Good
ready for
luck,
this.
Josiah.
Is it?
You're going
Is it
to
off
need
this? And he's like off this island. He points to her.
What do you mean? Say that again.
It was the condition off this island
Mhm.
No, you just had 6 hours.
And then we
before
meet-
she comes.
Yeah. She is.
Okay.
She's essentially promised not to lift a paw to you outside of probably what's already happened. Until 6 hours. Give you guys as much
Let's-
distance as possible.
Let's leave.
Oh, so she's going to start chasing in 6 hours. Okay. I got it
Yes.
Yep.
She will lackadaisically go about her day, and then once that timer hits 0, she's coming.
now. And I said, if that, you'll just say to her, he's like, if that amused you, can you give us a hint if there's a way off this island? Make the chase fair.
Phelan had a plan once upon a time of leaving this place himself. Even built a ramshackled vessel off the North Shore.
Yeah, Josiah will nod and walk on to the north. And he'll be like,
Mhm.
got to captain that out of here then.
I agree.
And don't worry, Mr. Blacksoul. I will look after your friend.
What friend is she referring to?
Do you say that, or are you asking me?
What is? Does she nod? Like, is she nodding at Phelan or like?
No. She's looking
What do
clean
you
at
mean?
you.
You'll just say, "What do you mean?"
I have a way of interacting with the departed.
With the what you cut up a bit. Then.
Departed.
Depart.
What are you
Hmm.
going to do to him?
Let him watch.
The hunt, okay. And he'll just walk off to the fake. Well, yeah. Well, actually, he can't resist. He's like, did Phelan fuck it up?
No, he did nothing, but your friend, I think, got concerned. I noticed he saw me there in the room, watching.
Oh.
I think he was scared.
This is cruel. You know that.
She don't care. She isn't. She isn't human. She isn't humanoid. Pointless arguing with her. She's. I'm worried that I'm finding her attractive, though. Let's go on.
Was that said in character?
What's in character?
Fucking hell.
Neither.
She kind of just leans very slightly forward, like, because she's about 8.5 foot. This woman is, well, this woman-like creature is, I should say. Kind of leans in slightly and tilts her head. You have a dangerous taste, then, Black Soul. And I suggest you leave. 4 hours and 40 minutes.
5 hours.
Yep,
Yeah,
no,
an hour.
no, that was me. Imagine she said it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
That bit's in the trailer, isn't it? You got a taste for danger, Mr. Blacksoul.
Yeah.
That's the trailer sting.
Right, let's go before Josiah.
I
She
wasn't
bites,
saying he's
really
like,
hard.
he's like, come on, go. He's like, I wasn't saying I was going to. I'm just saying, I'm worried I found that as attractive as I did. Now, let's.
And as you kind of
Let's
like
go.
turn to Nivara to speak, and then you, like, I'm assuming you look back just to make sure she's still there.
Yeah,
The Dakini's gone.
yeah.
Right, let's leave now. Where's Dax?
Hiding
Dax!
like the code
I
is.
assume we stumble upon him running back up the beach to.
Dax, you probably
Yeah.
saw most of that go down.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, watch it from a distance.
Do you emerge?
Yeah.
Right, we got to fuck off this island right now. So we're going to go find this raft on the north part of the island. Let's go.
A means
so
of escape.
Yes, I suggest that if my trajectory is correct, I believe that we are a couple of days away from the outpost. We might be able to get there by.
Do you want me to put you on the
Yeah,
the
that would
region map,
probably
because
help.
you can
Yeah.
then you can measure and fuck around then.
As we're running forward, we're moving as we go.
Understood.
That makes sense.
Just remember, you are on Lone Spire, which is up here.
So yeah, we're a couple of days away. Okay.
So if we know we sort of, if it's on the north of the island here, and we can sort of sail to this bit and launch off, and then hopefully sort of trajectory.
Well, yeah, because
Okay.
this bit here on the island is where the ship is that's now burning.
Yeah, and we kind of know that's the southeast part, and then we know this is southeast.
Yeah.
So.
And what I'm going to
Yeah,
do,
okay.
what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reveal the entirety of the Lone Spire, because you've seen the map of the island enough. There you go. Start giving you a bit more.
That's fine.
You guys start making your way. I'm assuming screw stealth. This is I am speed.
Yeah,
This is fucking pegging it to the boat.
Yeah.
Not like pegging the way Midnight wants me to do to Liam, but like running.
can I get
Need to bring-
a survival check for whoever is leading you guys, making sure you go north?
Oh, God.
Who's good at directions? Because I would have started running, but if someone knew,
I don't have keen mind yet. It is on my agenda to get, so I don't know where north is.
All I've got is +4 to my.
yeah, that's better.
my-
That's
It's
the
better
best.
than mine.
You're the
Do it, dude.
wisest.
We've lost the person who would have been able. Oh, Wade, that jackass.
Yeah, how dare he die?
Yeah, I'm going to make sure that he comes back at one
And-
point, and I'm going to drag him, and I'm going to rip him a new one.
And just
Like-
as an interesting thing for you, Matt, if you're still there, by the way, you, in your afterlife-y moment, life now, you do get slowly start to be fed snippets of the point of view of the Dakini and of the party, and you basically have got like a pay-per-view box set of watching the ramifications of stuff going on and how the party is now essentially being hunted.
Yeah, Matt, it's your fault.
And
We needed you.
Great. So I don't get to rest in peace then.
No, you don't.
No.
Good.
Oh no,
Good.
it's you're never gonna rest.
Oh, I took the easy way out, so my future should be easy. No.
No,
Screw
Wade's not
you.
going anywhere yet.
No, we're going to bring you back whether you like it
I
or
want
not.
to-
Well, Wade's gonna
Yeah.
be pasted even in the afterlife.
Yeah! I forgot what you're going to be. Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
no, just
Oh
no.
shit! Oh no!
You have no choice.
Yeah, I
I
can
did.
drag you.
I think I think you've forgotten like the party you have.
Yeah, I can just drag your spirit literally back.
And I would argue it's got worse now.
Oh, yeah.
If we survive.
We'll be fine. Let's go.
Yeah,
Heading
he's just.
north.
Vlad, you seem to know direction. Come on, go.
When the stars are up, it's all right, but the stars aren't up here. But yeah, I'll try. I think it's that way. Just follow the coastline.
Can
that way.
Use the bring out my little familiar friend Cavain and try and get him to try and pinpoint what's the best way of explaining it, like
How the hell
tack
can you
and
know?
stuff like that. You know, the stuff that's usually used to the bottom of rafts and stuff like that to make it watertight.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and get him roughly to try and smell for oil in a northerly direction to try and pinpoint it and assist.
We can just
Vlad.
follow the coastline north.
Too long. We'll do that eventually. I'm guessing we'll find it, but this is to try and speed it up because remember we got a ticking time clock.
You start heading your way north, or at least as north as you feel you can, and you go for 10, 20, 30 minutes, 40. And then you start to hear the whooshing and the slushing of the coastline as eventually, going at full breakneck speed, you will eventually come upon a shoreline. And do you go left? Do you go right?
Can I have a look at the sun? Because I'm guessing it's dawn at this point.
It's coming. The night darkness is now starting to make way. And you know when it's that early morning where it's before sunrise, but it's quite light outside. It's like that blue hue to it.
Okay.
Like it's like where it's like 4, 5, and 6 in the morning, where it's before the sun's fully risen, so it's not like a yellowy light. It's like a blue hue.
Can we see the spire from where we are?
It's behind you, and if you turn to face the spire, it's very slightly to your left.
Okay. So I suggest that we head towards east from where we are.
So,
Does that make sense?
well, that going east would essentially wrap you back around to the dock if you followed that coastline.
Well, if it's so it's slightly so
Best go left, west then.
yeah. I was thinking that if it was slightly, he would make it so that it was easier for him to reach. But
You've also got to
Okay.
consider he would have had to have done this away from guard purview.
Yeah, I think west is a solid idea.
You take the initiative and you start making way westward, going across the beaches and the cliff edges. I will just quickly take you back to the Lone Spire map. And you start essentially following this northern shoreline here. And you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going more, and I burped, sorry, pardon me, and more. And you don't know exactly how much time has passed, but you know the clock is there. You know this danger, and Naivara, you know firsthand how dangerous this creature is. You didn't even have time to blink. And you keep going.
I'm keeping an eye
Going.
on Dawn, if that makes sense. If I can
Yeah.
see Dawn beginning to crest, it's roughly been a few hours, so our time would be like 3 hours in if we start to see Dawn, if that makes sense. I'm using that as a gauge for what time it is.
And eventually you start to see some stony recesses and some coves coming up. And you keep pushing. You keep pushing. Who's at the front?
That'd
I
be
think
me.
it's
Desire
Vlad.
Can you make
Vlad.
a perception?
Pushing Vlad,
Make
basically.
perception checks, please.
Yeah, no problem. Perception. There.
Nice.
Josiah, your
Oh.
mind is very much distracted and elsewhere. You're
It's been a night.
yeah, you're very, very short-sighted at the minute, literally, because your mind is that hazy at the minute with things rushing. You struggle to see things far away and really focus. Vlad, you've got more of a sharpness to you, and you eventually see as you're running, you see what looks like a tree trunk that's bobbing in the ocean slightly. And it's like you kind of shake your head, and then you realize it's a bit ramshackle, but you can start to see the poking up of the tip of a mast.
Odd guy, and I'll say, guys, over there. And I'll point it out as we keep moving, though. Don't stop moving.
No, need to fucking run.
Yep.
You keep running and running and running and running. And you eventually start to now see a furled up sail attached to the mast. It's a ship. It's not a great ship, it's a ship. It has a hull, like mostly. You notice that it's in the ocean and it's bobbing and it's anchored to some rock through some hemp rope. But as you get closer, you can especially some of the seafaring folk, you can really start to see that yeah. You see one person stood on the deck.
Oh, it's that frigging.
Wade.
No, don't. You can't be a dick.
Is it Wade? No, it might be. I don't know why I'm hoping.
We'll just
Okay.
yeah, we'll keep walking. Who is it? Keep running. Who is it?
You keep running, and you can see a white-robed figure that's slightly hunched over with a cane. And you eventually find a way down the rocks and down towards the ship, and you can see stood on the ship is an elderly cleric. And he's kind of half looking for you and expecting you guys as you guys start heading your way down. And like he kind of lurches himself over to the edge of the ship where you guys are approaching from. We'll wait for you guys to board if you do so.
Yeah, I'm bored.
What are you doing here? She'll say as she's like, as we're getting, to the end of it, Novara will shout up and just be like, "What are you doing here?"
It's hard to explain, but I was awoken. Something has occurred at the home, and I felt a message. Something telling me to come here. And something has happened at the house, and I couldn't quite explain it. And I didn't understand, but I've spent some time trekking here, and I found this ship, and I was told to wait for people.
Is this Father Donovan?
Donahue, yeah.
Donahue, yeah. Josiah's already like making preps to leave if it's like got a say or whatever. Like,
I don't Your friend is still at the house. I gave him his final rites and did what I can ready for burial. I was told to give you this from the vision. And it will pull out of the robes, and you can see it's a small parchment. And it's bound in a simple twine with a wax seal on top. The seal itself, the wax, is like a shimmering, like, you know, like mother of pearl, where it's reactive to light.
Mm-hmm. Illuminescent.
Yeah. I don't know who it was, but
Iridescent, sorry.
thank you. I don't know who it was, but they told me to give it to whoever came. Apologies for, and he'll kind of gesture to his like mouth and chest. I was walking a while.
I'll take the parchment if Josiah's busy.
Yeah.
Or do you want to take it? I'll take
Josiah's like, do this, do that. We need to start pushing out and...
Yeah, and I'd imagine the rest of the party are like, I need to go back to the spire. I never tried to.
You have a choice. Right now, Father Donahue. You go back to the spire and you face the monster that is taking root within those holes, or you come with us and we get you off this island. Make fast. Josiah's keen to go.
We're all keen to go.
Yes, thank you for that.
Whatever tried to control me has taken control of the others as well. I fear it would be... I should do something if I can.
No, it would not. If you want to, there's the exit. But I tell you, I am offering you, what is the best way of explaining? A way off this godforsaken place.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, persuasion? Okay. At this point, she is like trying to is trying to open the parchment. Oh, nat 20.
I appreciate your help, but it's part of my guidance here. I'm supposed to look after everybody on this island, including those that necessarily don't deserve it. But
trust me, that one who doesn't deserve it won't bother you.
And he will take his holy symbol and take it off his head. Keep this with you. If you see me again, we will discuss more. But I fear I must do my work, for I may be old, but I have faith with me, and the powers be, and will hand you the holy symbol.
I'd rather you keep it with you, because you're probably going to need it. But thank you, I guess. Honestly, it is an absolute shit show. If I cannot employ you anymore than I have tried to, good luck. But we really must be leaving.
Well,
Goodbye now.
Just I will say, if you still have Wade, bury him at sea, will you? And they'll be like, Barnet, hold this rope. Need this, yeah.
I will. I will. And just as an FYI, Rose, you have a gold, and it is gold, a gold holy symbol of Lathander.
Mm-hmm.
He will very carefully make his way off the ship and will start heading up a path that is safe for him to do so, leaving you guys to the ship, and will start making his way back to the house. Blistering winds start to pick up as you're essentially in like a bit of a wind trap here in like the cove where it like hits the rocks and kind of like whaps you and stuff. And Josiah, you've worked on ships enough. You know at least how to prep these things ready to go. It's a single sail ship. It has one lower portion of the deck, and it's all open downstairs. It's completely open. There's just a void downstairs. The hull is barely considered a hull. It is watertight, just. It's the entire ship. I don't have a map for it yet, but the entire ship is probably about 40 foot in length and about 25 in width. That's it.
So it's like an open hull, like Viking ship, basically.
No.
with
It has
set-
it has a lower deck, kind of, but it's just completely open downstairs. There's no rooms.
Okay, so it's just like floor. Then there's like a
Yeah.
hatch, and then it's just
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. And there's no
Right, okay.
weapons, there's no ballistas, there's no cannons, there's no mounted crossbows. It's just a sail, a rudder, and a wheel. That's it. And it
Does
is,
it have,
yeah.
and it is
does it have
shit.
a nameplate saying the Derrick?
Oh
Mm.
god.
Sadly, no.
It's called "This Is the Life." No,
It's actually
After all-
It's actually nameless. It doesn't have a nameplate.
Escape
Also,
Ship
I would
number
suggest
one.
yeah, we should definitely ditch the getaway car as soon as we get onto
Yeah.
it. Like,
It's unlucky
dude,
to do this. I
yeah,
thought.
we need to protect ourselves. But yeah,
The ship is currently
Are we-
nameless. It is a one-sailed sloop, essentially.
Yeah.
It's shit.
Yeah. I press button to go. I cast ship off.
raise the anchor.
Okay, can I get a collective skill check?
Or
So obviously, Josiah, it's going to be a charisma check as you're essentially leading the crew and being the captain in this endeavor. Those that are, I would say, who would you have put on rigging the sail? Josiah,
Bonnet probably.
Barnett. Can I get a strength check?
oh god.
Mm,
If he's here.
wrong. Yep.
Yes, I can hear him murmuring.
I doesn't have an advantage there, but it was bad anyway.
It's the 8 anyway. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's being your spotter to make sure you don't hit any rocks?
Vlad.
Can I get a wisdom check, please,
He's
Vlad?
good at seeing shit.
Wisdom saving throw, just standard wisdom.
Just wisdom check.
Yeah. I forgot. Matt. Is Matt here?
Yes.
I'm here, yeah.
I'm the captain now.
Dax and Nivara, is there anything you guys wish to do? Be it help one of the other tasks currently, or anything else?
this-
Um,
Yeah.
Essentially, there's only the three
Hey,
main
not-
roles. There's the steering and commanding, the rigging, and making sure you don't crash into something.
He would tell Novar, it's like plug any holes or try and make sure we don't sink if I don't trust this. Like
cool. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay. You head below.
Yeah,
You head below deck, and you can see that the wood has been laid with a thick layer of like a clay mixed with straw and grass and like banana, like palm leaves. And obviously, can you make for me a dexterity check? As obviously, you would be making sure any holes that sprung up you plugged.
Dex check. Yep, I think that's that one. That's a 19.
Okay. What about you, Dax?
I'd be helping with the sails.
Okay, can you make a strength check also?
Yeah.
oh my god, this
Oh,
we've
Jesus
just got like,
Christ.
we've got a quarter sails at this rate.
Yeah.
You
At
are
least we know where we're going.
You are not able to leave at the speed anywhere near in which you wanted to, Josiah, because the sails are unruly through shoddy craftsmanship and just lack of gains on the boys that are pulling.
It's like unreactive. It's like it's very doesn't react
Slow.
very quickly.
But you leave. And you pull out. I'm assuming you just go dead north for the moment.
No, we're gonna. I'm gonna just steer it. Try and like I'll let it go out for like a minute or two, and I'll start steering it around to try and go southeast. Like the main objective is southeast.
Back to where you started, yeah. Okay.
We're trying to go over here, aren't we?
Yeah,
So
And
we
eventually,
head
once
that
you
way.
leave the rocky shoreline, and you're in a bit more of an open water, Josiah, you have the means to essentially like use a belt or like a rope or something to lock the wheel in place and keep it on the same heading, and then people can relax a tiny bit as you all have a moment to breathe.
Josiah's main thing, he goes to like Navarro, it's like, you seem to have known what that thing is. Can we fight it if it catches up?
The essential thing that Navarro would know is it's killable
So,
in time.
yeah, it's. I believe that at our current state, in the way that we are, it is going to be a nigh, well, not impossible, but highly improbable fight.
Any
We
way
do
of
not
killing
know.
it easier?
It will hunt us down. The only thing I could think of is us luring it into a trap.
Let me
even then-
let me feed you some more information, Ivara. Because obviously you
Okay.
did roll really well when you figured out what it did and does.
Mhm.
It's extremely strong in martial combat, like that's a given. And you're aware that you don't know what they are, but it has a number of resistances and even immunities. It has considerable amounts of damage mitigation.
It will be a hard slog. It is able to resist against most types of weaponry and a lot of elemental magics. My best suggestion would be that we do not stop anywhere for too long. It is going to find us, no matter what. It was in my dreams, watching as I dreamt about all sorts of different things. And even then, I mean, I did not like the fact. I would rather it to be gone as quickly as possible. But I don't think we can take it on. We've lost Wade. The rest of our team is a shambles. I believe we need to shore up our defenses and maybe plug any holes that arrive. You get what I mean?
Yes.
Not
the
actually
but
plugging holes. Yeah.
I've heard of a metaphor, yes.
Good. I just wanted to double check because I've tried using metaphors around Barnet and she'll just do like a motion like it flying over something's head. You know? Oh, what's on here? Can I open the seal on the parchment that we were gifted whilst I've got Josiah next to me and kind of take a look?
You certainly may. Just allow me to pull up a name that I need just so I make sure I get it correct. Yes. So, the letter is not addressed to anyone in particular. It just doesn't have like a to or for the attention of or anything like that. It just starts. And it's a short letter. It's only about a paragraph or two long, and it just basically outlines thank you for making sure Wade had a sending off that was as good as you guys could make it. It is a shame that his time had come to an end, but it seems you guys did well by him. And it is just simply signed Marid.
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 You can write that out.
Yeah. So let me reveal that little bit of map I was doing. Yeah. Marid. It is
Marid?
a simple thank you of basically, yeah.
I'll sort of look at Navarra. Your books. What does that mean?
It's a name, as far as you can gather.
Did he ever mention Marid?
Not to me.
Maybe another scorned ex-lover?
Wow,
No?
he was whipped over one, but last time I counted there wasn't two.
Is this like
I don't know.
is this like the fucking the Seven Deadly Exes bullshit film? Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim! I love Scott Pilgrim!
Is he
Anyway.
is he the fucking
They're all coming for you.
we're a bit fucked if he's dead, though. That's the storyline gone.
So
Like,
so you've got Charlotte, you've got Sasmora, you've got maybe Marid. Anyone else?
I do not know. I
Sasmora's
mean,
my ex. She my bae, like that.
Sasmora, you can do better.
I'm joking. I'm not a character.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Do you know of a Marid? Like I say, a Scorntex lover, something along them kind of lines?
Last time I checked, he was only whipped over Charlotte. I didn't hear about any other exes.
I know it was a little bit of a pity.
It seems
know?
a very well written letter, and it's giving thanks to you all essentially for making his death and subsequent funeral dignified, and obviously bearing a bit of empathy with. It's a shame that obviously he didn't come back.
Yeah. Navarro kind of roll it up and hand it over to Josiah. He was your friend more than he was ours, even so. I suspect we will all feel his disappearance for much longer than he would ever know.
All right, took it away. So I'm still pissed off with him, but he's dead. Can't be angry at the dead.
Wade, you heard Josiah say that.
Oh, did I?
You're getting snippets, and Sasmora would be very keen to pick the bits that would probably give you a jab right in the gut. She wouldn't, like, you're not seeing everything, but like moments like that, so you would be made to see the Josiah's like contempt of you, even if it is not meant in such a way.
She'll kind of like pat Josiah on the shoulder a little bit and just be like, you cannot be angry with the dead. That's the wonderful thing about the way that we live life is you can celebrate them after they left. We can make right all of this.
I thought he was going to say you can be angry at the living, and he like taps the tongue. That makes sense as well.
Oh, I mean, whilst I am not one for such brutality, I can admire the poetry of it all. You know, he was a man who had a silver tongue and able to persuade anybody until he could not persuade out of the situation he found himself in. He was stupid. It is his own downfall.
Yeah, it's your own fault.
Oh, hello, Vlad. Are you okay? No, I thoroughly believe. I mean, he was an utter jackass. Men like that, who scream about being the emperor and the power that has long since taken off of them. You know, I think I would like to borrow some words off you, Josiah, if it is not too much trouble. Men like that need to get laid, you know, and understand that just because you have a massive empire does not mean you have a massive, you know, thing.
He didn't have a massive empire, though, did he?
No, it was stripped from him because he was a massive dick. Like, you know? Whilst, like I say, I do not like the brutality, and I feel that maybe if it has not been the kind of man that he was, we could have shown some mercy, but men like that do not understand mercy. They exploit it. They exploit the innocent and those who need something. I would not, you know, blame yourself, Josiah.
He just Jacob said something before he became, and he will sort of do the like classic crazy round his head. He just said, "Pay those who need paying, feed those who need feeding, and kill those who need killing." And then he'll just sort of walk off to try and man the ship again.
Cool. Yes, and seeing that the others are still busy, she'll kind of be like, "Okay, I guess I will go flood holes."
You're in charge of us not sinking.
Yes, I remember. I will go downstairs. I do need to have a chat with some of you at some point, but we can do that later. And she'll rush back down below deck and be like, "Oh, shit."
And by that point, the ship's already half flooded, and it's like, oh fuck.
Oh, come on. I'm talking for a minute.
I'm joking. It's actually It's actually fine.
It's quarter flooded instead.
Yeah.
So back to port. To the outpost, please, Danny.
We gotta try and get there first in this.
Well,
ramshackle.
first things first, you all take a point of exhaustion for not
Oh.
completing your long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Would I? Because considering I had an extra hour than the rest.
Still not 8.
Bah, humbug.
You
How
had
do
it-
we do exhaustion on here? I don't know. I'll
You just
find
have
out
to.
later.
There's no like ticker thing for it on roll 20.
Cool. Not on roll 20 on Beyond. Yeah. Cool.
Liam,
I'm not sure.
how's it done?
It's
Click on where it says conditions on the top
Yeah.
right, and it tells you there.
Oh, got it. Add active conditions. Thank you. So, can we go to port, please?
You are making your way there, at least as best as you can. You do have maps of the surrounding areas of the Ivory Sands, and with prior knowledge of recently being there, you do start making your way in a southeastern direction. It's... Let me just double check the math. Yeah, it's going to be a 2-day jobber. So obviously, coming into the full swing of the daytime now, as you guys obviously left at dawn, you are fully aware your 6 hours are up, guys. The lioness is out the cage, and she's coming. How? You don't know. Is anybody doing anything? When you're in open water, the ship requires a lot less hands-on all the time. You can take a moment.
What I was going to say is, can like do split shifts. So like some people like try and take a short rest or a long rest, and others like we just take it in shifts.
I only need 4 hours, so I can do a bit more. I think Dax will be able to do the same, if that makes sense. So we'll take a heavier burden if needs.
Yeah, because I
So-
can do like light duties.
So you'll be like, it's probably better if you two rest first then, and then we can
Power
try and
through.
alternate after. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. So with the two of you beginning a rest, and the rest of you powering on at disadvantage, which is going to hinder the speed a little bit more. Just give me a second. Cool. And you guys start heading, continuing. Eventually, the 4 hours will pass, and both Dax, Navarro, you will have successfully completed a long rest.
Long rest?
And remove an exhaustion point.
Nice.
Yay!
Oh, actually, you know what? While I'm thinking about it as well, Josiah,
Hello.
do you already have an inspiration point?
Don't think so.
I would like to bestow you one for the tongue cutting.
Oh no, I do actually. Yes, I don't. I must have made a joke somewhere and got
Well-
one, but yeah,
It gets put on the pile, you wait, and then it
Oh.
falls off because you can only have one.
yeah. Why
Yeah,
did
I
you need to wait so long for that?
I'll get one for the impaling, but you get one for just chopping his tongue out. Mm.
To be fair, it was
I
very
think that
cool.
it was poetic, you know? Silver tongue guy who was able to
Yeah.
manipulate everybody got his tongue ripped out.
I know.
You can impale the next one, Vlad. Like, Vlad the Impaler. You're actually the Impaler now. That makes funny. Okay, cool. Shall we crack on?
Well, Naivara, I know you wanted to have some conversations with certain people, so do you want to do those before people go for a rest?
Mm,
I think the Josiah was going to, if we can like, if it doesn't need steering for 5 minutes, he was going to try and get everyone together.
You certainly may.
Because yeah, so he'll be like, "Right, I think we all need to chat because. One, I don't think we can hang around in the Ivory Sands for long. We're going to have to keep moving, so we need to plan our next move. Are we all... Because Wade was the one who was helping me with Jacob, are we all still in on that?
Yes. I will need something soon, but I can wait on it. We'll sort out your problem with Jacob. You know,
Right?
you scratch our, we scratch your back, you scratch our
Yeah.
back.
No, mutually beneficial's fine. I'm just making sure that's one of our goals.
Mm-hmm.
We can have multiple goals. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah. What I was going to say, if we could have faced Jacob head to head, and we didn't because we're not strong enough. What I was going to say is whether it's pertinent whether we parlay with someone like the Baroness, make an alliance.
What does the Baroness control? Like, does she
East,
control
the
certain
east.
trades?
The majority of the eastern portion of the archipelago, mainly focused around trade and deals of that nature.
Trade. That is not a bad idea. I wouldn't mind at some point as well looking into the Siren's Rest, but I believe that we might want to get away from that sort of area for a little while, so we can come back at another time. You know?
I mean, yes. I mean, hence Ivory Sands. I'm sure we can get something eastwards. Parlay with the Baroness.
Mhm.
She'll have ambitions on the west. Then we can head to Sirens.
Haven't we really
This
got
is
to
it.
discuss about what's going to be chasing us now?
Oh yes. It's really bad. We keep running, and if we don't keep running, we have to fight, and we fight for our lives because it will be that bad. They are celestial creatures who. I don't know. She really hurt me, like in one hit, and she'll kind of show the slowly healing wound on her shoulder, and just be like,
Yeah, I remember that. I found you.
"Yes, thank you, Blad. Blad, Blad, I got Blad. I appreciate it. What do we do? Is there anyone who can help us at this
Well,
point other
that's
than the Baroness?
that's what I was going to say. We've got to go back and collect our payment for dropping supplies off anyway.
Josiah, make
let's-
a history check.
Let's mention it to them that this
Uh,
former emperor.
Do.
You
it's
don't
not.
no, obviously because you're from around here and you're of the appropriate parts of the industry. Do you know what I mean here? You don't know anyone specifically, but one thing that obviously screams to mind is there are plenty of people willing to join for small coin. Very skilled people too. As long as you ask the right questions in the right places, I'm sure you could probably get
Ivory
points.
Sands. Yeah.
As long as you ask the right people, the right things, I suppose you could possibly find at least maybe even just a name or a direction of some people that would be willing to work for coin. And obviously, given the place, you're not going to find like bounty hunters that like want 10 million gold. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. To answer your point about the money, that was the Burgundian Navy. That was a contract. The only we can ask around in Ivory Sands, but they were at
That
Ulster's
is an
Den.
excellent. Yeah, it is also an excellent point. If we are all together here now, I suggest we decide on what we are going to tell people and come up with a story and stick to that story. You know?
Yeah, it's also a good point. You never got paid for your Deliveroo job.
Yeah, we're not
No.
going to get paid for that Deliveroo job.
It's at the bottom of the ocean.
If we, we lost the food and then killed the person that we were delivering to. I think that's like maybe -1 stars. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, not great.
No.
That's
So-
not our fault. He tried to kill us.
Vlad, I know I admire your willingness to stick to the truth, but in my experience, sometimes the truth can get warped over time, and in history books, suddenly heroes are not heroes. they are
No,
now
wait a minute.
villains.
Technically, we didn't lose the food
No.
because they were unloading it when we docked.
Yeah, no, the
so
food was delivered. It's just you killed the client.
That's neither here or there.
I would suggest, if it is okay with everybody, that we do not even mention where we have come from. We just let it flitter away. And then if anybody asks us, did you kill the previous emperor of the Burgundian throne? You just look at them. You do not say anything. Just look at them like they're saying something weird.
I
know?
have a better line.
Okay.
We just say he made a deal with the celestial demon thing, and then it betrayed him, and all that's true.
That is technically true.
No, we can do that. That is an excellent point. If you bury stuff within the truth, nobody tends to look too close. Most people aren't going to ask us
Exactly.
anyway without, like, actually knowing a little bit more, so we should be all right. But I would prescribe people do not bring it up in conversation. We just let it kind of settle to the side, and if it gets bring up. And I'm going to look at Barnett specifically.
Yeah, we all look at Barnett, I imagine.
Yeah. Keep your trap
just-
shut.
It is not meant to be offensive, Barnett. It is just,
The truth.
I noticed that and you as well, Vlad, you are quite loose-lipped. You know?
I'm not going to condemn myself. In the day, he deserved to die, and I hate to say that, but he did.
I think Vlad's agreed on the true lie, so
Yeah.
we're fine.
That is good. Just, we don't need, with men like Phalion and those kinds of sorts of people, just sometimes it's better not to say anything at all. We gave him a lot of fuel for the fire, and then obviously I did not like it, and I apologize for my behavior over the past couple of days. It's just men that are willing to prey on people are not my favorite kind of people, you know?
No, I just thought you could get our friend back, and then he taps.
He betrayed me.
Wade sees that, by the way.
Okay,
I'm
I'm
just-
trying to get our friend back. Oh,
yeah,
true, he snaps him, yeah.
it's like the pain for Wade of like, oh look, I've betrayed them.
And Desire will tap the tongue and just say Kimman's bust, and then
Sorry?
I just said he's a backstabber.
Sorry, what language are you speaking?
Common.
You said, oh, sorry, it might just be me hearing, but I didn't hear
It
it.
wasn't. It wasn't. I'm not going to gaslight you, but
Yeah. No. Yeah. Sometimes powerful people can be rather stupid. Just have to give them a little nudge, you know? But let's try and see if we can find something in Ivory Sands before heading out.
we're vaguely agreed. Ivory Sands look to hire people, then head east.
Mhm.
Have we got
Yes.
enough money to hire people? That's another fucking question. Because
Oh, yeah, we have a bunch of cash.
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 Oh,
We
smashing!
have. My next character will be Who's It from the Wild Form Breeze, just so you all know. Smashing.
Smashing.
I mean, I'm kind of tipped that way sometimes anyway, and I've got to say something earlier on, like looking at the chat, and it just said nerd. I was like, dude.
Well, it was like, what do you want to give us tribute? I would like to tell us. It's like I would like to tell a history article. Nerd. That's why I put it. Like,
Yeah.
I was trying to
What
show
would
him that
do,
sometimes heroes.
I
The
know.
biggest
It was a
heroes
joke.
we found. I know.
It
All
was a
right,
joke.
well, so
And that's why Wade is still dead.
All right,
Because he
you
had
two,
to
stop being an
listen
old
to
married couple.
You have to listen to a boring story.
Oh wow!
I'm
actually
joking.
on that.
You do, actually,
At
Matt,
least.
let me point out, she actually spent, she wrote 3 IRL pages of lore for
I
that
know,
story.
it was really good.
She actually
It didn't work,
I
but it
actually
was
had to
really
give her
good.
permission to write shit for the world, and she sent me, a lot.
Oh, it's all canon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm
Right.
just a
Yeah.
hero for you, and you didn't come back.
Let me point out, Wade hears that.
Oh god.
I was out of character.
like no, like
Suddenly you-
randomly. I'm just gonna.
Just, yeah,
know,
Wayne
you-
sees in a parallel universe me sat at
You know,
his
you know,
laptop
you know what,
going,
you know, like,
"Oh."
you know the meme of the Telltale games. The so and so will remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wade will remember that.
Um,
I'm just gonna keep popping
Yeah.
with it.
so I just said I was speaking in common, and then I think that was the last in canon thing, wasn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, so I'm guessing we're still travelling, bulking up the boat, but I think we've all agreed that we're going to head Ivory Sands, get money. We've got money, sorry. Get people with money, and then over to the Baroness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to get in bed with bad partners in order to screw over somebody else, or some saying along them kind of lines.
To be fair, there's nothing better to beat a big bad than with a bigger badder.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
The
And the
enemy
biggest
of my
baddest
enemy
bitch.
is my friend.
Yes, thank you. Strange times make strange bedfellows. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Strange
And
times means... Woo!
at
Sorry.
least we know the Baroness sort of sticks to a code, which is good enough for Josiah. Like,
Yeah, rather than like out of character. What was he thinking? Like I'll talk to you guys after the session. Actually, I've got so many questions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'd imagine. I can't
Like, he's
wait.
such an
I'm
idiot.
gonna get shouted at after session.
Oh, no,
you
this-
won't be-
this
you
post-
made a decision.
This post-stream chat's going to be interesting.
I might just.
But yeah, let's get to Ivory Sands so we can pick up Matt's next character. So, right, we all have to agree. If it's fairy, we walk away. If it's scaly, we walk away. If it's fairy, we walk away. We're not dealing with this.
It's a turtle. I can guarantee he's gone. He's a Shelly now. He's
Oh
Shelly.
no!
Yeah.
Damn it! You
sure.
know me too well.
Actually,
Oh,
let
Hey,
me,
but yeah.
let's keep it up so we can get Matt back in game because he's been. This is the second session nearly. He hasn't been able to play.
No,
it.
I've told Danny not to rush it. I'm okay.
no,
going,
like I've already
podcast
discussed
mode.
this with Matt. I'm not going to shoehorn a character in just because.
Yeah.
It might take a few sessions, but I've still obviously told him he's more than welcome still at the table. Unlike, like you know, in a Critical Role do it, where they just don't turn up. I'm like, no. Still join, still participate.
Yeah.
But when it comes, it comes. Depending on the character he wrote, he could have joined right away. But the character he's got backed up, it'll take a little bit, but maybe okay.
Mhm.
He's a little broken. It's still good. It's still good. But you will eventually continue your way to the Ivory Sands outpost. I'm not going to make lots of rolls for sailing because I think that would ruin the fun of the sailing aspect. I'm just going to allow it to happen with a degree of time, like faster, slower, depending. It's obviously a little on the slower side because you guys are partially exhausted, which will get fixed. Excuse me, I had a hiccup. It will get fixed. And eventually, after the second day, we'll make your way and get yourselves to the Ivory Sands outpost. Stu, can you knock my fan on 2, please? I am fucking sweating me knackers off.
Lovely.
Oh, sorry.
That was not me,
Shut- Shut the fuck
There's
up.
gonna be a lot of sweat.
Shut the fuck up.
It must
Someone
be.
clip that, please. I don't know how to do it. Liam, can you clip it?
Yeah. We want him saying, sweat my fucking knackers off.
Can somebody else get there before me?
What? Sweat his knackers off?
No, clipping on Twitch.
I have no idea. I don't do that
I
shit.
don't know how to do
Look
it.
at that, it's gone. Welcome back, Ben.
He's
Mhm.
just sweating his knackers off, don't worry.
Yeah. And eating what looks like chicken balls?
Chicken balls!
Shut the fuck up,
He's
guys.
sweating his knackers off with chicken balls.
We're talking about Danny's balls again.
Oh, yes, we never, Rose wasn't here for that
Shut
conversation,
the
but
fuck up, guys.
What conversation?
I don't know.
we've already derailed for like 10 minutes, so we could have talk
Yeah.
post stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Talk about
Ignore
Danny's
it for
balls
now.
more often, yeah.
no. You eventually, and Josiah and everyone else will lose the rest of their exhaustion points. It did slow the
Yay.
travel down because I'm not going to make you guys constantly roll for traveling. I'll only make you guys roll for sailing when it's particularly difficult. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a storm or you're in combat. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it could very easily make it tedious, and I don't want to do that. But, making your way back to the Ivysan's outpost, on the afternoon of the second day, you travel for like another full day and get to the afternoon, and then you eventually will make your way there, and you'll pull up this ramshackled ship, and the dock workers will cautiously attach it to the dock. Obviously, it's not great. It's handmade. And the dock master will come over and be like, all right, name of vessel?
It hasn't got one.
Is this true?
Oh, do we need to have one, or are you going to give us a bullshit name for it if we don't come up with one?
Oh,
Well, I need one for the paperwork, preferably, even if it is just placeholder.
do you want me to come up with something? I might have something.
I was just going to call it Wade's Rest, and we'll stick that on.
Oh,
That's cute. We'll go with that
I
one.
like
that
that.
is, yeah.
Oh,
Very well. Mooring fees here are 4 silver a day. That will include any repairing and resupply that you may need, shots and such.
Cool.
Is this agreeable?
We'll pay when we go, then, I guess.
Understood.
How much would it cost to like properly tar the inside of it?
Mm.
Looking at the size of your vessel, probably 150.
I don't know. Actually, if we've got money, no one's giving me any.
Yes,
Like
we have a
taxes.
party fund.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
out of
that's-
character, Ben, we have over 2,500. So 2,500.
say
Okay.
2,500. That's terrible.
1,000, sorry. My brain went.
Yeah, because I haven't
it's
been
been a
paid
day.
at all. Because I've only got 14 gold, 9 silver.
No,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
using
yeah.
the party fund system instead, so we can take it out the fund as long as
I
you don't take the
remember that,
piss.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll look at everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So what? How much was that?
150 gold.
And is that any other renovations you can make to it
We
in a
can-
day or how
we
many
can-
days?
I can take a look. I can have word sent to you and costings if need be. The ship does look
I think-
rather
Primitive.
artistic.
How about you get starting on the tarring immediately rather than messing with things? Because
I'm going to start that right
No.
away. You've agreed the price, but obviously, as your captain here has said, any other things that can be made, I'll pass word and see if we can agree, and if not, we will just do the tarring.
I'm sure our captain will love to hear word, right, Captain?
He'll like look at her and say like, yes, and then he'll stick his hand out and spit in it and do the old
Yeah.
sailor's handshake.
So that's 150 gold to get the decking
I'll take
tarred,
that out.
and then obviously, depending how many days you're here, 4 silver times days stayed.
Yeah,
Sound.
I'll just do the silver after we're.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Welcome to Golden Sands Outpost, and if you need anything, be sure to ask around. And he'll kind of like let you guys get on, and then he'll do a whistle and call some guys over and be like, "Right, get the tar buckets, going in."
One thing I am going to do is I am going to tuck away, like, somewhere where it's not going to get tarred over or not going to be seen. Wait, I will ask Josiah first before we leave. Should I leave the Oli symbol on the boat? I'm just a little concerned of having it on my person if that guy remained on the shore, you know, in case it is a beacon of some sort.
Oh, this is
Or
Ivory
just-
Sands. I would keep it if you don't want something missing, keep it on your person.
I don't know. I was tempted to sell it. It's okay. I
Well,
don't
I mean,
have.
if you want
one.
to sell it,
I just
But-
didn't want it to be on any of our persons because what's the best way of explaining? Sometimes powerful entities can use items in order to track people. Just did not want that.
I think she's already got our centre, for being honest.
That is a very good point. Let's go to the tavern. I really need a drink. I do not know about anybody else, but
I second
Yes.
that.
We
go.
need
Yes.
to, yeah. Barnet,
Yeah.
we can pour
let's
one
go.
out for Wade.
my homers.
Yeah.
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 It just fucking tickle me them roses. Yeah.
I was laughing at the same time, so it came out really strange. Let's go to the tavern.
Yay!
As they're walking towards the tavern, Josiah will slap Barnet on the back and be like, I'll hold you to your promise. And as they just walk up to the tavern.
You
Yep.
head towards the freckled stout once more.
Mhm.
You get yourself a round of drink. What?
No, it was the delayed, like, you slapped him on his back and was like, I'll hold you to your promise. And then, like, 3 minutes later, Liam just went, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind slowly. Let's carry on.
It's been a long session, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's been an emotional roller coaster today.
it's been very intense.
Given where we are, and we are close to our end of time, I know it's a little early, guys, but I think it's a natural stopping point.
What? We've got half hour to go.
Okay, I'll posit this to you, Danny.
One.
Like, if you're doing... does it make sense to do 10, 15 minutes of logistics bullshit now if you're, like, looking to hire people, do that stuff?
If you would like to do that now, you certainly may.
Would that... Yeah, would that just help get it out of the way for next session? Is everyone alright with that? Does that make sense?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's alright, because we'd hit a natural stopping point, and obviously we were close-ish to
We've
the...
still got, like, a fourth of the stream left. Like, you know, that's why I was a bit like, 30 minutes?
I know.
Okay.
Actually, it's a seventh of the stream.
For,
Oh,
yeah, I trust
Yeah.
the time wizard to know
I'm
exactly
about
how
to say...
much.
Rose wants to live in a reality where she's good at fractions. Let her be. Like, she wants to fantasize.
Whoa!
Yeah, but if that's the
Calm
case, she's got to
down.
get it right.
that.
Okay, then. I did calculate that it was a seventh, but I didn't want to sound too nerdish
Isn't it-
today because I've
isn't
already
it
been
an
streamed
eighth?
that nerd.
Didn't
No.
want to sound too new.
Well,
Isn't it, we've got 1/8 left.
No,
Well, we started at quarter. What was it? 25
Okay,
to
right,
7.
okay, fair enough.
So if we were going to play till 10:05, we have effectively a seventh left of the session. But yeah, I don't want to be too nerdish
Alright,
or nerdy. That would be
Okay.
the actual eloquism. But yeah, I was just okay. Do what you need to do.
right. Apart from, before we get into the logisticy things, is there anything people wish to do, like into party, discussion wise, or anything?
well, I mean,
It's
because I
alright.
was gonna
It's
say-
alright because
say-
it's not anywhere near the end, and obviously it's a good stopping point. You guys fucking chewed through everything I prepared. I'll be honest.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Well,
I've got nothing left, guys.
I'm spent.
Is the circus still in town?
No,
Oh no,
actually,
let's not go to this
no.
circus.
The circus is not
Yes,
here.
let's listen to a half-hour full description of a circus show.
The circus has
I mean,
indeed.
you got that prepared? Have
No,
you?
the circus is gone, dude.
Well, we were going to drink
They're not a brick and mortar circus, Matt. They're a traveling thing. So you assume at some point in the 2-ish weeks, I want to say, that you guys have been gone, they've probably hitched a ride out.
Is the scribe still in town if she's in the marketplace?
Yes.
Cool. I know where I'm going.
Well, I assume we're going to drink to memory. Then Josiah was going to
Yeah.
take Barnet to a brothel as the promise.
Okay.
I'll go
And-
with Navara.
I think you'll find that place is just as smutty.
You're about to say, you're hardly getting.
Look, okay.
Right.
I'm trying
Where's
to think
Dax
where the next
going?
character would be.
Hashtag pour one out for Wade. He's done.
Yeah.
Rose,
The Wade's Rest. Hello.
let's follow Navarra to the scribe. Shall we?
Okay. Yes, that is fine. I do not mind.
It's the later
Is
part.
Elefant still coming out across with us? And where's Dax going, or is he going off on his own?
Glad are you still following Navarra?
Yeah, I'm going to Navarra.
Dax, where are you heading?
Probably stay around the ship for a bit.
All right.
Just supervise the work.
Yep, there's nothing builders love more than untrained people supervising and offering help.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. And Navarra and Vlad, it's the later part of the day, so the market is winding down. But the scribe is there. She's in the beginning stages of packing up some of her things, like things that she doesn't necessarily need to hand immediately, and packing away bits so she can kind of be a bit more ready to leave when she's ready. And you approach, and she kind of looks and goes, "Oh, welcome back. Wait. Yeah, welcome back. Is there anything I can do for you?"
Yes, it is good to see you again. I hope you are doing well. I was wondering if you had some more material as you gave to my friend previously.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Any particular kind?
Well, so we are doing some testing, I guess would be the okay. I just don't want anything too weird, you know. Just, and I'll look at Vlad. I'm just gonna look, just like maybe a 7 on the smut scale, you know, of 0 to 10, just around there, you know, nothing too tentacly.
It's almost like you want a tasting menu. Can I just have like a?
I have no preference for gender or species other than, you know, if you have human or elven or even maybe, I do not know. What do you have available currently? What is your top shelf?
Well, first, we've had a few. We had a recent increase in demand for some demonettes, fiendish depictions,
Oh, jeez.
succubi and the kind.
Oh,
Okay.
Would that be more than fine? I made a few in preparation because people recently were a bit more interested.
Recently?
Yeah.
How recently?
About a week or so.
Did anything happen in town around that time?
Apart from the dwarfs a few weeks back, no, not really.
Good.
Everything-
I will take one. Sorry?
That was it. I was done.
Okay, I will take one of the
One
devil
smut, please.
ladies. What's actually?
Yeah, just like
do
you know
you
the
have
meme of
anything
you know the meme of the girl throwing the coins on the counter. One smut, please.
I have been told this is custom, so if you have a variety, that would be most appreciative. Like I say, just nothing too. I don't know actually. with
7
regard
out
to
of
my
10,
dream.
right?
7 out of 10. Yes, please.
Right. And she'll like kind of turn, and you'll see her open like a small scribe's pouch, and there's like dozens of parchments in there, and you can see her pouring through. No. Probably an 8 out of 10. No. And she'll pull out 3 or 4. And it's 3 different succubi, and even one, I believe is Incubus the right one, where it's the male version?
Yeah,
Think so.
Incubi's male. Mm-hmm.
So you can see 3 succubi and 1 incubi, all in various stages of 4 to 7 out of 10.
Okay.
These should suffice. I can do these for 5 silver, say.
She'll immediately pass over the 5 silver.
Yeah,
and
if
just
you
be like,
and in future, if you're a patron member, you get a silver off.
oh, sorry. Like, Nyrara through this entire conversation has not been blushing. She's looked at the pictures and just doesn't seem to be.
Unfazed.
Yeah, it's more like she's seen it all before kind of deal. Not that she's not. I don't know how to best to explain it. She's appreciative, but not too bothered.
Matt,
Does
what
that
the
make
fuck?
sense?
Shaved tabaxi.
Oh, shut up!
Sorry.
Carl,
That's
how's
like,
Vlad reacting to all this?
He's not responding anyway, just looking at Navarra curiously.
She'll turn to
Thank you,
Vlad
Darth.
after she's got, and she'll roll them all up into like
A
a
bundle.
scroll and give them like a little bundle and just be like,
She will offer you a tiny
That's
piece of
all.
twine. She'll offer you a tiny piece of twine just to tie it.
"Thank you," and we'll hand over the 5 silver, which I've got to figure out how the hell to do. Oh, I've got money. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, having money is a good start of handing over money.
Yeah. So 5 silver was that.
Yeah.
Remove. Cool. So, did you want to get anything while we were in town?
No, thank you. Just come for the walk, really.
It is a lovely day despite Sitahara. So I bought this for Josiah. He seemed very inclined to.
Trust me, it's not for me to judge what other people do or what other people's interests are. It's fine.
Are you against devils or are you against naughty pictures?
It's not for me to judge what people enjoy or get off on. Is their choice.
So, how would you say that you enjoy? Like,
It
in a
doesn't do it.
certain-
It doesn't do it for me. How about that?
Okay. So what does do it for you? And this is as they're heading back to the tavern.
Is this now a game?
From a theme, I think.
Yeah.
What riddles your jimmies, Vlad?
It's what it's like.
It's got to
like-
be what floats your boat. Like,
Yeah, what
fucking
floats
balls.
your boat? That is a great campaign name. I'm just saying it then. What
Yeah,
floats your
that's now
boat
the
is
campaign name. Definitely.
there we go.
I missed.
Party name.
Actually, I just missed that message from you, Ben, and then Liam pinned it. What about 8-foot lion women dummy mummies?
Look,
Like, to be fair,
it started. Sorry?
like, it is an impressive figure, like, on that fucking demon celestial thing.
He was just like.
Right.
I think-
Okay.
I think it was more he was trying to use humor in order to alleviate the situation from the complete terror we were all feeling.
You say that until the end of the campaign when he shags off with it.
Oh God.
If he wants to, that's up to him. As in
Yeah,
the words of
you-
Vlad, we do not judge those discretions.
Right. So,
Anyway.
what does it for me? I'm gonna go. I've
Helping the
taken a
poor.
vow of celibacy, so it's nothing
Oh.
really.
So,
I thought he was going to say, what does it for me? Like, helping the poor, good deeds, Jesus.
so total celibacy. Okay. Well done, you.
Was going to type a joke, but didn't.
Yeah, I'm going to
I want
type
to know
my
the joke.
thoughts in chat.
No, the only reason I ask is because what is the best way to we were testing Barnet and I wanted to get a control, if that makes sense. So if you're completely celibate, you're not quite right.
I understand what you're doing. Don't worry. It's
Well,
quite
celibate just means that.
interesting.
So?
It's quite
it is-
interesting in seeing what you're doing with Barnet. So
Oh, so you are interested?
He likes
I
to
said
watch.
interesting. It's funny.
Oh, well, this is it. A vow of celibacy does not still mean that, it just means what is the best way to
I
explain this?
restrain
There is still,
myself.
Oh,
yes, there is
I
still
can
fire.
finish it if you want to.
There is still fire in the soul, but you do not stoke the fire. I believe
Correct.
is the correct
I
line.
try to abstain from going to these places that encourage me. It does make it difficult at times.
I do understand. Excellent. So, are you happy for us to continue on in our pursuit of finding out what makes Harangon? I do not know how to end that sentence, so I am going to.
Let's just keep walking until we find the tavern.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking
I
of
need
what
a drink.
findings, what makes a Harangon go on and on and on, Josiah,
Yeah.
you're with that dear boy.
I'm sure I know a place.
There's not. It's a little different around here. There's not like a proper establishment, but what it is essentially working girls and men will wear like a certain garment, and essentially, if you spot it, you can inquire, and then they'll probably take you back to where they live. Essentially,
Yeah. So there's like an area. So
there's like a code where, like, oh, if like you find a woman wearing a green handkerchief or something, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like it. It's classy.
Well, it's basically it's able to be at the forefront, but without being at the forefront.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's easy enough.
Yeah.
You go into the market district and you check the taverns and make perception checks. Barnet, if you wish to join in and help, you certainly may.
Well, you'll be asking Bonnie. It's like, well, this is the point now where you got to tell me what you're into so we can find it for you. So you have spoken before.
Yeah. I'm looking around first.
All right.
So, for the DM's sake, Liam, what the fuck is Barnet looking for?
Anything?
More or less anything.
Oh my god.
But that's the thing, is anything.
Okay, that's fine.
It's very broad.
Okay.
The handkerchief is okay.
Okay.
Josiah's just looking for anyone with a green handkerchief, and then just going to be like, "How about them?"
And then you find a mechanical gnome.
Oh, go on. No, go on, Liam.
Now, say if Josiah points one out, he doesn't go to the first one.
Okay, so not that one. Okay.
Okay, give me a second.
Oh, wait.
Yep. Okay. Cool. The first one that you spot with your 20 on perception, which, as far as Liam just explained, Barnet would be like, yeah, sure, cool, let's go. You find a middle-aged looking man with like salt and pepper black hair, dark, like sun-bleached, like, you know, that tanned skin. He's slim-ish build. He's not tanned or toned by any degree. Wearing simple but nice enough commoner's clothes. And a green handkerchief wrapped around his wrist.
Oh god.
Did Liam say the first one he refused or say yes to? I thought he said he would refuse.
No, I said yes, so I'll go to.
Okay, yes, okay, that's fine. Discord. So, okay, I'll approach said man.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. My friend over there would like to spend some time with you.
Kind of like look around you a little bit.
And I guess I point at this like bunny man.
Yeah. The tiny bunny man as well.
Wearing a 90.
I believe, am I remembering right, Liam, that your class is a small creature?
I am small, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
They're
No, I
medium
think
creatures. He might just be 4 foot or something, 5 or 4 foot. Do you know what I mean? He's
you
shorter.
can pick between medium or small. You can pick your size, I
Okay.
pick small.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're funny. You're an actual. Oh my god, this feels a bit weird now.
It'll kind of just. I'm not going to role play it out, but obviously he's going to make sure that he's of the appropriate age because of his size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to go.
Lovely
We don't have
lady.
to like. He passes. Like we don't have to go through that.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
Okay,
How long you? How long are you thinking?
He's an unknown quantity to me. I couldn't tell you. This is. We're trying to. I think he's from a place far away, so we're trying to, help him develop his taste of things. Should we say an hour? I'll pay you up front for an hour.
Silver for an hour?
He will just, silver in the hand.
Oh god. The little bunny's gonna have little bunnies.
Okay.
What?
I don't think that's how it works, but yeah, okay.
I think someone needs a lesson after. Okay.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that person's not actually a woman? Are you insinuating that he might dress like a man?
I mean, I
Okay.
literally told you what he was.
Yeah, but you don't know what's underneath. You don't know.
It doesn't matter. Let's just let them go.
Let's move on. So then,
Yeah.
I'll sort of gesture Barnet over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So then I'll be like, So
Are you? Just let me. Are you intending to join or?
no.
Good. That's fine.
That's an extra silver. That would have.
No, I'm gonna find someone else now. I'll.
And slowly but surely, Barnet would be whisked away out of the market into a residence.
The last thing I'll do before he sets off and just be like, "Oh, Silver Fox, I appreciate your taste," and all. I was like, sort of smack him on the shoulder, like, "Off you go."
And they go off to fuck.
Wait, just ask Barnet, is that actually what happens? Like, we don't need to go into
That's-
detail. Yeah, does he back out?
No.
Or is it just like he's like
cool.
a weird fix for power?
He said no.
I would
Okay.
back out when I finished.
What was that?
Hey.
What was that?
I think he said he'll pull out once he's finished, which is good to know.
Good lad. Good lad. That's what we like.
No. I said I would back out when I finished.
Cool, we don't need to go much more in depth. Let's crack off.
I
You
am
don't have to
so
roll,
glad
just-
I'm
I mean, Rose. Let's be honest. You literally asked.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure he was consenting and not just being led into it. Do you know what I mean? I was being very kind towards Liam, who then just, Can we do Wade, please? I would like to go and see Wade. I don't know.
What the fuck is this campaign?
Does Wade see that?
Yeah, no, you're literally being chased by a celestial being to the death. I'm gonna get
And
the
we go
bunny man
by-
fucked.
The bunny gets laid and we go by pornography.
Oh yeah, tell me you don't play D&D without telling me you play D&D.
Hey, Danny,
Yeah.
whatever floats your boat, you know?
Yeah.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
And you know what's even worse? I'm wearing
I
a
think- I
fucking
think-
unicorn horn for all this.
As I say that, then.
Yeah, I'm wearing the fucking horn.
So, yeah. Daddy, we don't
Josiah-
have to roleplay just like this, but let's just say he spends a silver piece himself.
You spend a silver piece, you find someone of an appropriate taste to Josiah, which I'm assuming is some nice young woman.
It could be mine, and he doesn't.
Oh, I didn't know. That's fine.
No, I'll roll a. Let's roll the.
It's fine.
Odds or evens.
Yeah. Oh, he finds a nice lad. There we go.
All right. So the two of you find some rest for the evening, or lack of there. We've got Nivara buying porn, and we've got Dax trying to tell the shipwrights how to shipwright.
No,
That's not how you apply tar.
I can't believe we just spent half an hour. We're like, Daddy, do not end the stream. We have important shit to do.
No, we didn't. It's been fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like I was going to end half hour early, and you've just had half hour of utter fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But we needed it.
It's alleviating the situation. Sometimes you need to balance the
the
dark
Eldritch
with light.
baby's controlling them. Yeah, yeah.
Oh God.
It alleviated that
Size.
pain and suffering we was going through. Just
Right.
Yeah.
But on that note, it is now 4 minutes to.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Yeah,
say
you're up
you spend the
now.
rest of the evening, obviously, resting, figuring shit out. You're at the pub. You'll probably go back to your ship at some point. I will get a list of potential upgrades to the ship, and I will put it in the group chat. And costs.
And and crew people. That's what we're looking for as well.
Yes, you want to look for some crew. And I'm assuming cheap and cheerful?
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, because
we need a good
start off.
quartermaster or something, or a navigator. I think might help.
Point
us.
will be is I'll put this in the group chat, and then obviously we can discuss between sessions.
Yeah.
But
Sound.
for those watching on YouTube, we are about to say goodbye, my dear fuckos. I apologize. But I hope you had fun. I am going to go and now talk to these motherfuckers post-session, and I want to
About
see
what?
about the campaign murder.
Not the point of getting late.
No. That can be...
We have so many things to discuss.
Yeah.
Like, so many things. The bunny getting
so-
laid to be in there.
Goodbye, you
I
two.
can't believe I said that. Bye.
No.